My dad is a doctor, guys. My dad is probably one of the world's fucking greatest doctors. He's worked on the Ebola cure, he's worked on God knows what, he's worked with WHO, he's an open heart fucking surgeon, dude. He is a fucking decorated individual. You know, my mom, she's a fucking microbiologist. My uncle teaches, you know, at the University of North fucking Carolina as a fucking theoretical physicist. My aunt works at IBM working on the Titan supercomputer.
Damn, I didn't know Mutahar's family was so accomplished. You know, it's gotta be awkward, I guess, when he's talking to them and he's telling them, oh, I'm a YouTuber. Meanwhile, they're doing all this, like, accomplished real-world shit.
I work as an editor in movies and TV down in LA, Tokyo, fucking Dubai, Paris.
Oh shit, never mind. I guess Mutahar is not just a YouTuber. I guess he's making fucking movies now, or back then. What the hell?
And he was saying this in 2015. He started studying film in 2013, and that's after already having had an engineering career.
Wait, he was an engineer first, and then he went into film school for 2 years, and already he was making movies in Paris and Dubai and Tokyo? Oh, so this whole story is just full of shit. Got it.
So, like, being a former engineer, like, I virtualize, like, everything. So
Possible. I'm like a fucking ex-engineer. I wanted to share sort of my engineering background with you. Okay, I worked as a fucking engineer, all right, before I went into this shit. I know this. I also like to mess around with technology. I myself used to be an engineer before I went into the video editing route.
Mutahar's had a very miserable year. It started last year when he uploaded that weird video on Nux Taku, disavowing Nux Taku for uploading lolly on his thumbnails and his YouTube channel, as well as many other things, right? A lot of people were angry at Nux Taku because Nux Taku was doing a lot of sussy things, and Mutahar, in collaboration with the commentary community, uploads this hit piece on Nux Taku, somebody that's, you gotta understand, like, me and Boblax is like Mutahar and Nux Taku. Like, they're very close. They do a show together. They've been collaborating together for many, many, many years. They were very tight up until Mutahar uploaded his hit piece on Nux Taku. The only thing that was weird about that video was the fact that Mutahar deleted it instantly. And even though he said in that video probably like 30 times, like, I'm done with Nux. Nux is evil. Nux is a piece of shit. I hate Nux. He's like, I will never talk to Nux again. Even though he kept saying these things, fast forward to 1 day later, he deletes the video and him and Nux are buddy-buddy friends again, as if nothing ever happened. And obviously when the commentary community was questioning Mutahar, was like, hey, what the fuck happened? When like Nick and Keemstar are reaching out to Mutahar, asking him, hey, what happened, bro? Like, what's up? Mutahar decides to permanently ghost us forever. And ever since then, he's kind of been on his own. And the whole internet has kind of caught up to how fake Mutahar is. And they've really started to turn on him. And we've seen this pirate software drama that I haven't even covered that's been blowing up. Well, Mutahar is now basically the Indian pirate software. That's kind of what the story is starting to become. And he's refused to address this whole situation where he's allegedly lied for the last 10 years about being an engineer. Apparently, he faked being an engineer, and he used this. I don't even know the story. We're going to be reacting to it live. But from what I hear, what I'm guessing is he used his fake status as an engineer to sort of give himself credibility when he's making all these tech videos. Because Mutahar is a big tech guy. He's a big Linux guy and stuff like that, right? And he comes from the industry. And one thing that was always weird that Mutahar would always say is, YouTube's not my job. I have like 20 different jobs. I run a gas station. I do real estate. I own property in Japan. I'm a big busy guy. I'm a big influential busy person that does 80 different jobs, and YouTube is just something I do on the side. And it's like, Mutahar, you upload daily slop every fucking day. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but like, YouTube is very obviously your primary source of income. Like, that is clearly what you do. You don't have to like pretend like you're bigger than YouTube. And we see this happen with YouTubers a lot, where they just are obsessed with like, oh, I'm not a YouTuber, I'm a rapper. Oh, I'm not a YouTuber, I sell real estate. I just make YouTube videos teaching people how to sell real estate, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, dude, get with the times. You are a YouTuber, and that's the best job to have. Why are you ashamed of it? Why are you ashamed of just being a YouTuber? It's the best, it literally is the best job in the world. Just admit it. I'm an entrepreneur. Exactly, yeah. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a rapper. I'm a fucking business guy. No, you're a YouTuber, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Why are you so insecure about it? It's stupid. It's actually very pathetic and weak. So let's take a look at this video right here. This is Mutahar, a big expose video that came out, and we're gonna just pull it up right now. So this is Mutahar has faked being an engineer for 10 years.
I'm Nicandros. If you've been following Some Ordinary Gamers or Mutahar's behavior the past year or so, you might have noticed that something is up. He quits Twitter suddenly, causing people to panic, and then rejoins Twitter quietly months later. He says he won't buy a Nintendo Switch 2, and then instantly buys one when it comes out. There was even that time he disavowed his longtime friend, Nux Taku, but then he took the video down and apologized. Apparently he overreacted to a video criticizing him for watching lowly hentai.
Dude, the Switch 2 Mutahar drama was insane. I actually have that pulled up. We might take a look at that after this video, right? Mutahar, so everyone was hating on the Switch 2, and they were uploading these like morally grandstanding videos. Don't buy a Switch 2! You're supporting evil Nintendo. Mutahar made one of these stupid videos, and then as soon as the Switch 2 came out, he bought it.
Mutahar saying he is an engineer is like Augie saying he is going to stream soon.
Wow. Good one, dude. No, all these stupid YouTubers came out and was like, the Switch 2 is too expensive, don't buy it. Including Mutahar. Mutahar literally said you should boycott Nintendo, and then he buys it immediately. And so obviously everyone's going like, what the fuck? You told us not to buy this. Why do you have one? And he uploads an apology video. It's so stupid. Just tell everyone, I just want to play the Switch 2. That's all you have to say. Yeah, I made this stupid video, morally outraged about Nintendo. Let's just be honest, guys. I wanted to play Mario Kart. Because that's the only reason why anyone bought a Switch 2. Just admit that. Just be like, honestly, guys, I just want to play Mario Kart. But no, he uploads a groveling apology video. But that's, you know, that's a separate story. We're gonna focus on this video first, but it's just so stupid.
Die with Nux Taku, and not for any.
Chat. Do not redeem. Do not redeem. Do not redeem.
Oh, one other thing about Mutahar before. Sorry, I keep talking before we watch this, but one other thing about Mutahar. So I mentioned before about how Mutahar has been ghosting all of us, right? He's been ghosting all of us, and it's not like a thing where it's like, oh, what? You feel like you're entitled to Mutahar talking to you? No, that's not the argument, but I do feel like it is kind of weird for him to work with Nicholas Diorio on a video condemning Nux, but then delete it the next day and ghost Nicholas Diorio forever after that, is when Nick is just asking, hey, what happened here? I think that that's fucking weird, right? And so he's been ghosting all of us. I did my stream shitting on Mutahar, but before I did my stream, I actually reached out to Mutahar. And I said, I was like, hey man, we're gonna cover your new drama. Do you want to come on and explain it? I sent him that DM. He doesn't respond to it, obviously. I wasn't expecting him to respond to that, right? A few months go by, and it's Mutahar's birthday. And I send Mutahar a DM just out of my own, as like almost like a social experiment. I'm just like, hey, happy birthday, man. Just curious to see if he's gonna respond to it, or if he's gonna be like, Augie's a commentary guy. I swear that community off. I'm not going to talk to them. So I sent him a DM. And he's like, hey, thanks, man. Even though my previous DM to him is, hey, do you want to come on the stream and address the drama? I send that, no response. It's his birthday. I'm like, happy birthday, just to see if he'd even engage with it. And he did. He responded to it. I'm just like, okay, what are you doing then?
Honeybee emoji.
Why aren't you like just talk?
Emoji. Honeybee emoji. Honeybee emoji. Honey.
It was so fucking funny to me. Just like how he responded to my DM, like when I wish him happy birthday, he responds to that. But it's like, okay, well, clearly you're human, you're alive, you're there, you can type on your keyboard. So can we talk about the other stuff? Or are you just gonna be like weirdly silent about it? Like what is that all about? Well, he chose the silent path, and see how well that's working out for him. People are digging up more and more shit about him, including this video. Anyway, I'll play it now. I've been rambling a lot, but I just thought that was a very fucking funny story of just how he'll respond to one thing but not the other.
To a video criticizing him for watching lowly hentai with Nux Taku, and not for anything else.
Wait, you showed one of those videos?
That's a video I'm still working on, and this video you're about to watch right now is a little appetizer I've cut out of its body of research, because it was getting too bloated as it is. Anyway, despite saying he would quit drama, not only did Mutahar return to drama, he decided to join forces with Ethan Klein to go after...
This was so stupid. So during the Nux thing, he put out this whole statement, he's like, I will never engage in drama again. Drama's beneath me. I'm only gonna focus on fun stuff like tech and video games. Fuck drama. But then a few months later, Ethan Klein is talking about suing Noah Samson, and Mutahar immediately joins in and celebrates that. Now, I don't think that lawsuit went anywhere because I don't think you can sue a guy for him just saying that you're a genocide supporter, which is what Noah Samson said, which is obviously not true. But again, I don't think that's like a suable claim. They were trying to sue him for defamation. That didn't happen. So that's why Ethan went the copyright route instead. And he picked different targets. He sued Denims and Frogan and Caseytron for copyright. In reality, Ethan wanted to sue Noah Samson for slander or something like that, right? And Mutahar jumps on board. Mutahar's been covering all kinds of drama stuff, right? He still covers drama, but he told us back in December that drama was bad. But he's going to get involved in a fucking legal warfare where he's allying himself with the #1 producer of drama right now on YouTube, Ethan Klein. Okay, buddy.
Hassan Piker. It's an odd choice because Ethan doesn't exactly have the highest opinion of Mutahar.
Do you have the part where Mutahar runs outside with a gun?
I don't, but...
I'm like, dude, these people are insane. Boogie's not even the craziest one in that room still. There's a point where Mutahar goes, oh shit, is someone stealing my car? And he runs outside with a gun. And then he comes in 30 seconds later and goes, oh no, it's chill, it's just my brother.
Oh my God.
Like, this pseudo badass weird fucking shtick he's doing is not it. And frankly, he's so mean-spirited and nasty, and he has this weird thing where he needs to act like cool and that he's so successful and rich. He tells Boogie, dude, why don't you upload more? I upload every day and YouTube's not even my job. I was like, shut the fuck up, bro. I think he thinks his real job is being a day trader. I might be wrong about that, but I mean, that's pretty funny.
Dude, Ethan, this is Mutahar's partner in crime. Yo, Jimbo Zoomer with the 463 viewer raid on Kick. What's going on, Jimbo? Jughead raid. Holy shit, the YouTube chat's just gonna be exploded with people. We got a big giant raid on fucking Kick. Let's fucking go. Yeah, this is my first dual stream. I'm live on YouTube and Kick. We're covering Mutahar. So welcome aboard, everybody. Shout out to all the people. What's going on, guys? Yeah. Let's see. Oh, wait, Kick support sent me a message. Hi, AugieRFC. We hope this message finds you well. We are writing to kindly ask for a moment of your time to check your email inbox. Wait, what? Okay, when people in my chat were telling me, hey, Kick's trying to reach out to you, I assumed that was like an obvious troll. What the fuck are they saying? Oh shit, they're mad? At the multi-streaming? The multi-stream toggle in your creator dashboard is switched off. Oh, oops. You can use /multi on. Okay, sorry. Whoops. First time multi-streaming, they're mad. Wow. What do I say? Multi on? Multi-stream has been enabled. Okay. Well, at least they sent me an email instead of fucking ban me. Okay, anyway, we're all set there. Thank you guys for the raid. We're talking about Mutahar. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, Ethan Klein. Say what you will about Ethan Klein, right? But he just completely shreds Mutahar here, right? Because, again, Mutahar is so insecure about just being a fucking YouTuber. YouTube is the best job. And so Ethan Klein's reacting to a clip where Mutahar's on Locale Live. They're just doing a podcast. It's Mutahar, Boogie, Keemstar. They're just talking shit, right? All of a sudden, Mutahar gets a knock on his door. And he's like, oh shit! He grabs his gun, like, dramatically. And he's like, 1 second, guys. I have to go defend myself. And he runs out of the room. He grabs his gun. And then he comes back moments later and he's just like, oh, my bad, guys. It's just my brother knocking. The fuck was that dramatic exit for? Like, Ethan's completely right here when it's just like, yeah, this guy is just so desperate to sort of like just look a certain way. He wants to look cool and badass and like he's like this big businessman. He's running different, he's running different companies and stuff like that. He's not. He's just a YouTuber. He's a daily slop uploader. And again, that's fine. Just upload the fucking slop. Just be that guy. But he can't. He's insecure. And I don't know why. Is it like an Indian thing? I'm just kidding. But why is he so insecure, right? Like, what's up with that?
But like, yes, it is. Shut up.
I'm gonna get so much shit for that.
Bro, I'm uploading every day. I really got turned off by Mutahar in that one, man. Really did.
So Mutahar is a poser.
And by the way, that's Ethan Klein shit-talking him from a year ago. It's Ethan Klein shit-talking him from a year ago. Now Mutahar, or at the very least in 3 months ago, Mutahar was willing to get into a lawsuit with Ethan Klein where they sue Noah Samsen because Noah Samsen uploaded a video calling Mutahar and Ethan Klein genocide supporters. Right? They were going to sue Noah Samsen for making the claim. This might be an unpopular take, at least on YouTube, right? You can't sue somebody for calling you a fucking genocide supporter. Is that a crazy take? I feel like you sue people if they call you like a pedophile wrongly, or they call you like a rapist or something like that. If somebody just makes a video where they're like, you like Israel, you can't sue somebody for that. That should not be, and if you can, that shouldn't be allowed. That just feels like it's an opinion, it's the truth. Regardless, it just seems like a flimsy lawsuit that I could never fucking support, We're gonna sue Noah Samsen because he uploaded a video calling us Israel genocide supporters. Okay. Good luck with that.
And he lies about having a job outside of YouTube. Those are pretty heavy accusations. But who has the time to watch through over a decade of videos and streams to check if he's telling a consistent story? I certainly don't, but I know a much faster way of achieving the same end result with only a few hours of effort. I can just search all of his video transcripts at once for certain keywords and timeline the claims he's made.
I play video games and scratch my balls most days when I'm not working. I wake up, I scratch my balls, I do my job, and then I fucking play some video games.
I wake up, scratch my balls, play some Mass Effect.
Why does he keep saying that? Why is he just obsessed with saying that?
Make a video and like.
I'm just a regular guy, dude. I just wake up and scratch my balls.
On my stock work, and that's it.
I wake up, I scratch my balls, and I play some Mass Effect.
This is 4 clips of him saying the same thing.
Okay? I wake up every day. I do my job. I scratch my balls.
5 clips of him saying the same thing.
I play around with Linux, some video games, and that's my life, dude.
Before we get into it, isn't this stalking? Isn't this a violation of privacy? No. I am going by information Mutahar has made public through pieces of media he's voluntarily published on his YouTube channel, or public media appearances he has consented to. I'm also using information from a video that shows his LinkedIn page, which is something he seems to be cool with. He can do whatever he wants in his private life, but if he's claiming to be a doctor or an engineer to make his perspectives more valuable to an audience, validating the truthfulness of these claims about his life become a matter of public interest. If a history channel was receiving undisclosed funding from a foreign state, publishing that information would be in the public interest, even if that knowledge was gained through violations of privacy. Violating someone's privacy to humiliate them by exposing their porn browsing habits would not be in the public interest, but I haven't gone there.
Okay, so this is just the disclaimer so Nick Andrews can wipe his ass and be like, I'm not doxing him. This is basically just, I'm not doxing him.
I don't need to. I also completely disavow and denounce any kind of harassment or actual stalking behavior. Based on my findings, Mutahar has consistently claimed that YouTube isn't his job.
Hey, YouTube isn't my job. Thank God my job isn't YouTube. YouTube is not my job. YouTube is...
Ethan at least has a legal argument with the Library of Congress stuff. Muta just wanted to in on it. It's like if Keem was dishonest about how he shamelessly attaches himself to huge dramas.
I just, like, I can't wrap my head around supporting the Noah Samsen lawsuit. And the thing is, obviously, Ethan Klein is not able to sue Noah Samsen. That's why he's suing Frogan and Denims and Casey Tron for copyright-related issues. instead of suing Noah Sampson for slander, you know? Obviously, the slander lawsuit is what Ethan Klein wanted. He probably talked to his lawyers and they were like, this won't work. So he went with copyright instead.
Not my job. YouTube is not my job.
YouTube is not my job.
YouTube is not my job.
I use YouTube as a hobby. This is not a job for me, okay?
He works a regular 9 to 5.
Like, I work a regular job every day. I go to my office, I work, I come home, I cut together the video that I recorded the night, you know, or 2 nights or whatever before, and I post that on the internet. It is a therapeutic, fun thing for me.
So what is that job? If you ask Mutahar's fans, they think he's a cybersecurity expert, an IT professional, a video editor. Ethan said day trader. There seems to be an awful lot of uncertainty about this definitely real job that Mutahar has. Mutahar's also insisted throughout his career that he is an engineer.
I'm an engineer. I'm a fucking engineer. I'm a goddamn engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm a fucking engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm only an engineer. Oh, I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm just an engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm just a fucking engineer. I'm a goddamn engineer. I'm a fucking engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer. As an engineer, being an engineer, I don't have to tell you as an engineer. I'm just a dumb engineer as an engineer. My engineer asked, but as an engineer, so I'm just a fucking dumb fucking engineer. Like I can told her, like I'm an engineer. But I'm an engineer. As an engineer, I'm an engineer. As somebody that is an engineer, as an engineer. I'm saying I'm the number one engineer as an engineer. As an engineer. All right, as an engineer, I'm just an engineer. Speaking as somebody that is an engineer, I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer.
Now, Mutahar told me, this is actually funny. When I was beefing with Ethan Ralph, like way back in the day, this is like probably like 4 years ago, when I was beefing with Ethan Ralph, Mutahar, like one of his flexes, I forget what, I think Ethan Ralph came out, was like, she was shitting on my show, and I had Mutahar on, and he was like, and this Mutahar guy looks like he runs a 7-Eleven. And Mutahar's like, yeah, I actually do. Like, that was his clapback, right? So we do know he has stated that he owns a 7-Eleven as, like, one of his stated jobs, right? So I don't know if that gets brought up in this video. It's very funny.
There's multiple types of engineers, so what kind of engineer is he?
I'm a fucking computer engineer. I'm a computer engineer. Dude, I'm a fucking computer engineer.
I'm a YouTuber. Why are you asking me?
And I'm just like a computer engineer by default. Like, I'm a fucking computer engineer.
I'm a fucking computer engineer. You want to talk about cyber warfare? I'm a computer engineer by trade. I'm a computer engineer. I'm a computer engineer. I'm a computer engineer. No, I'm a computer engineer, okay? I'm a fucking computer engineer.
Dude, how many Mutahar videos do you have to watch to just compile this list? Nicantorus is watching like Some Ordinary Gamers fan streams archive channels to just compile like anytime he's ever mentioned engineer.
I'm a computer engineer.
In the United States, people throw around the word engineer like candy, but in Canada, it's a bit more protected, especially in Ontario where Mutahar lives. Now, I do want to give the disclaimer that I'm not a lawyer or a Canadian. I'm just a guy who looks stuff up online, and based on what I've read, it's actually illegal to call yourself an engineer if you are not a licensed engineer. The Ontario Engineering Regulatory Body, Professional Engineers Ontario, claims to take offense to even titles like software engineer being used instead of software developer, but they do make an exception for terms like train engineer, broadcast engineer, or sound engineer, which are not professional engineers in the same way that a computer engineer or a civil engineer would be. Calling yourself a computer engineer to a public audience is like
illegal, apparently. So Mutahar is in trouble. What the fuck?
saying that you're a civil engineer or a mechanical engineer. You might as well call yourself a doctor or a therapist. For Mutahar to be a licensed computer engineer, for him to be able to legally call himself a computer engineer, or an engineer in general, he would need a 4-year degree, 4 years of training, and to pass the National Professional Practice exam. If he had just a degree, then he could only call himself a computer engineer graduate. This is where things become a little bit difficult, because Mutahar is apparently not just a computer engineer.
I'm a video engineer now. I think I know how this shit fucking works. Speaking out of an engineer, like if I wasn't a computer science engineer, I wouldn't speak about Elon being an idiot. But as an engineer, yeah, I'm gonna call him a fucking idiot because he's
there is like using like this like fake status to like, you know, justify some sort of like he's got like some sort of authority to speak on these positions. I can criticize Elon as an engineer. Okay.
Idiotic statements.
This is why, as a cybersecurity engineer,
a computer engineer is very much a real thing, but a video engineer or a broadcast engineer isn't a real professional engineer. While computer science graduates often work in software development, sometimes called software engineering, computer science isn't an engineering discipline. so computer science engineer doesn't really make sense. Cybersecurity engineer is once again using the word engineer as just a job title. Mutahar clearly wants the prestige of being perceived as an engineer, given that he's been calling himself an engineer for the past 10 years. And he uses this title to make himself more authoritative.
But I'm an engineer. I know how this stuff is going, so I'm not even speaking out of pocket right here, okay? If you want to disagree with me, feel free, but you're actually wrong. As somebody who is a computer, engineer, somebody who understands computer code, for instance, hearing Elon talk about computers...
I will say it's funny because Mutahar was like the tech expert. Like anytime, like I think I've been in calls with probably like a million different YouTubers where anytime they have a tech problem, they're like, just call Mutahar or whatever, right? So it's like, I gotta be honest, I didn't ever really watch that many Mutahar videos, like ever. Like I kind of just more knew him as a guy rather than like I was watching or consuming his content. But I do know like in like the YouTuber crowd, right? Like they would always just go to him like he was the guy who knows computers or something. Just some vague like idea of like, oh, Mutahar, he's the tech expert guy, engineer. He's an engineer. He's a tech expert. Like if they have any problems, just go to him or whatever.
And anything code related is actually mind-bogglingly stupid.
It's not clear what kind of an engineer he is. So what education does he have?
Like, it's a really good explanation of why, like, I picked engineering as, like, the road to go down when I was studying. I'm like...
So he would have an engineering degree.
I went to university for computer sciences, and that's it. Education background, asking because a lot of CS knowledge. Yeah, well, I did computer engineering when I fucking went to college. That's what I did.
Okay, so at least a computer science degree.
I thought when I got into university for a while, and I dropped out like a semester in because I was like, okay, no.
Oh, he dropped out after a semester.
Like, I'm a dropout myself. I've never finished university, but I'm not going to dog on like school. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to learn to be
valuable.
Yeah, if you're going to be an engineer, if you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, if you're going to be in the STEM field, you need to go to university, okay?
You need to go to university to be an engineer, but Mutahar is a dropout. He has no degree.
Were you a computer science major? Yeah, that's what I went to for college for a little bit, dropped out of it, I feel like there's a weird misconception. People think I'm like some fucking crazy degree holder. It's like, no. No, I would have been way more in fucking university debt if I went down that fucking route.
What?
I sure wonder why people might have that impression.
Is it bad if you don't get a STEM degree? Look, I'm gonna sound biased as fuck, but STEM degrees all the way.
Huh?
I'm gonna sound biased because, as an engineer, like, you want to get the degree that's gonna get you a job, a good job. Not saying other degrees can't, but like, you gotta be smart.
Sometimes he says,
what the fuck? This is getting creepy. Like because he's been running this live for like 10 years now. You know what I mean? He's had to like come up with like ways to respond to the chat whenever people ask him about his credentials. This is just so stupid. Why do people lie, dude? Why do people just like put themselves in these situations? It's like, dude, just be honest from the start. You're not a fucking engineer. You don't have a degree. You were a dropout. Why do people just... It's like that John Swan level lie where it's like, it's just such an unnecessary thing to... Now you have to like keep this going forever and hope that nobody fucking finds out.
OPTIMAL has become a channel member.
It's just such a humiliating position to put yourself in. Why would you do that?
He didn't
He's a freak, simple, yeah.
always want to be an engineer.
My biggest thing was I didn't really want to be an engineer anyways. Growing up, I didn't really want to do anything. I actually wanted to do law. I didn't go through law. Honestly, I didn't even want to be an engineer when I grew up. Like, I wanted to be a lawyer for the longest times.
Other times he says he's a former engineer.
So, like, being a former engineer, like, I virtualize, like, everything, so I, like, contain shit. And
even an ex-engineer.
The coolest ways possible. I'm like a fucking ex-engineer.
But here's the thing. He's been saying he used to be an engineer, or that he worked as an engineer, for 10 years.
I wanted to share sort of my engineering background with you.
Okay, I worked as a fucking engineer, alright, before I went into this shit. I think I know this.
I also like to mess around with technology. I myself used to be an engineer before I went into the video editing route.
Mutahar started his channel in 2012, the same year he turned 18. By video editing route, he means that he switched careers after his channel began taking off.
And the interesting thing about this whole YouTube stuff is it actually made me change my entire career choice. You know, I never really thought of myself as an individual who, I mean, I express talents in film production and everything, and, you know, I never really threw myself into it. I did stuff on the side even before YouTube as well. But this really changed me, and it made me more passionate in the whole, you know, video production side too. So now that is my field of choice. Now I work as a video editor. For those of you who don't know what I do outside of YouTube, I do that. I work as a video editor for my own post stuff.
All the programming, cybersecurity, penetration testing work he talks about early on are jobs he supposedly did before he did YouTube, and he didn't like doing it.
Before this, I was a depressed individual, and I was going to go through a certain set path in my career and just go through that and move on, right? And there was a point where I really didn't think there was much else. I was going to go through the motions and everything. And then, you know, to cut down on the stress, and I still have stress issues nowadays, but, you know, back then I had a crazy amount of depression and stress issues. And so to counteract...
Dude, this guy's got a crazy amount of insecurity issues. What the fuck? Like... Come on, man. I mean, everything he just says is just yap, yap, yap. And the thing is, he's been propelled as like this, like... the problem is with these people that, like, these criticals and these Mutahars and all these people that kind of just rise up in criticals' ashes. Like, for some reason on YouTube, people are so quick to, like, just label somebody as, like, that is the guy. That is the man. They're the guy that can say no wrong. The guy who's the ultimate authority. Like, it's almost like e-daddies, you know what I mean? Like, these streamers that just, as long as they say the correct things a certain amount of times, they're then, like, it's almost like they're knighted as, like, the internet's, like, they can do no wrong e-daddies. But, of course, it's bullshit, right? So it's, like, seeing what gets into their head once they reach this, like, bullshit reputation. It's, like, seeing where they take it from there is crazy.
That I decided, you know, why not do YouTube? And so, you know, one night I went onto the Google Create account and did it, and, you know, and then we started making videos. I told you guys, I'm a guy who used to code bank applications, really boring shit. Now I'm a dude who cuts stuff together.
What?
Alright, who edits stuff, you know, who does stuff for film, TV, all that stuff. And I can't stress to you all how important that is to me. And you all have inspired me to go out and chase that dream. You all inspire me to fucking sit in front of my computer and make a video when I have some off time, and I fucking love doing it.
Baby Mutahar liked to edit videos, and after starting YouTube, he switched careers from computer engineering to film and television, and this is where his actual education comes in.
I worked in film and TV before I still don't have a fancy fucking degree, okay? And there you go, I filmed it, alright? I used my film degree to something.
He calls it a film degree, but it's actually a 2-year broadcasting/videography diploma he got from Humber College between 2013 and 2015. If he went back to studying to get an actual engineering degree, he never mentioned anything about it.
And this is so stupid because like Nick Andros points out in the beginning of the video, he shows his LinkedIn on multiple videos. And he's proud of it, right? He's like, look at what I've done. Look at what I've accomplished. So that's the other thing about lying, is like when you lie, but you also make it so easy for your lies to be checked and disproven. Again, why would you put yourself in that situation? It's just stupid.
Not a single slip. Mutahar was never a real engineer, but he's been calling himself one for a decade because of tech jobs he supposedly had before 2013 or 2012.
Because I never tell people like what I do. Like I never tell people anything, right? Like I don't even tell people I'm not an engineer. I haven't been one for like years, like fucking for eons at this point, right? Like in internet time.
What he calls him being an engineer is something he did for only a little bit.
I can imagine, like, for families, like, I mean, just an Indian family alone, it's like, son, you've got 3 choices for what you're doing, all right? You got 3 character classes, doctor, engineer, or maybe a lawyer, all right? Like, that's it. So, you know, I did one of them for a little bit, and then I just pretty much stuck to, you know, this life now.
Imagine if you worked as a mechanic in high school, and 10 years after quitting that job, you're still introducing yourself as a mechanical engineer. From 2015 to 2020, he claimed to primarily work as a video editor.
That's because I'm a fucking editor in real life anyways, so... Ever since I became a video editor, and that was my job in life, I work as a video editor. You know, that's my job.
By trade, what I do for a living is video editing.
I wasn't always a fucking video editor. Am I a fucking passionate video editor? Do I like my job? Yes, I do. My job is video editing. I'm a video editor by trade. No, I'm a video editor. You know, that's how I pay for the strip club and the home.
And initially called himself a video engineer.
I'm a video engineer now. I think I know how this shit fucking works.
Video engineer.
It's not a real engineering job, but he was still calling himself an engineer.
He's just like, he just starts combining the lies at some point. He's like, I'm a video engineer, editor, engineer guy. I do that, you know? That's what I do. Right, guys? Right? Don't I sound, don't you like my credentials? What are you talking about?
You found the milk?
Yep. Thank you for the $20, man.
In 2019, he conflated being a video engineer with being a computer engineer.
I'm a computer engineer, so I really computer video engineer, whatever you want to call it.
I like how this video is mostly, for the most part, this video is just him playing like 80,000 clips of Mutahar saying one thing, 80,000 clips of him saying another thing. That's basically the video. There's barely any commentary needed. It's just playing Mutahar's own words against each other. That's all this video is doing.
So
again, totally different qualifications. One is an actual professional engineer, the other is a job title. In 2020, Mutahar claimed to be an exceptionally successful day trader.
Now, for those of you who don't know, one of my side hobbies turned basic, you know, general second.
So what are we up to now? Engineer, video editor, film producer, extremely successful day trader.
Profession of mine is day trading, swing trading, whatever you want to call it. I like to sit in the mornings, sip my coffee, you know, go on the NASDAQ, see what I can look pre-market, buy, sell, and be done by, what, 11 or something, and call it a day. Ladies and gentlemen, it's something that I've been doing for almost a year, give a couple months, and it's definitely a very, it's a fun part of my lifestyle. I'm a very mathy guy. I do a lot of calculations in my head. I lose money, but I generally have an 80-85.
I'm a very mathy guy. I'm just always doing calculations.
5% success rate, and that's just the nature of this stuff.
In 2021, he claimed his job was trading and investing.
My job right now, I just sit around and trade and invest. That's what my job is.
But he was still an engineer or a computer engineer. Apparently his dad calls him an engineer who knows computers.
I'm sitting in the room, it's like, when it comes to computers, do you talk about it with my son? Do you act like an intelligent person? Because my son's a fucking engineer, okay? If I'm wrong about computers, I'm gonna believe what my son says because he's the fucking engineer, not a doctor. Like, fucking insane, dude.
But he also just sits at home and invests money.
I invest, that's my job now. I just sort of sit home and invest money.
Now, if I was ashamed of only being a YouTuber, that is the job I'd be claiming to have. When asked by guests on his podcast about his computer work, he claimed it's only a hobby now.
I don't know how much you want to delve into this, but like, do you do computer stuff on the side, or that's your main thing?
I literally just invest money. Like, I buy property and I invest, and that's all I do now.
Now you're in real estate.
Wait, now you're that big of a baller, Buddha?
I wouldn't say it's like baller. It's just like
Do you do programming? I don't know why that took me 3 different ways to ask that.
I do it it's more of a hobbyist thing now for me personally. I'm trying to like work around with consoles at this point, like reverse engineer shit that I have.
Oh, gotcha.
Work around with consoles? Guys, I put homebrew on my Wii. I'm an engineer as well. I modded my Wii U. I put Nintendo. I can play GameCube games on my Wii U. It's basically like engineering, right? What the fuck?
So,
I gotta hear that again. What the hell is that?
3 different ways to ask that.
I do it it's more of a hobbyist thing now for me personally. I'm trying to like work around with consoles at this point, like reverse engineer shit that I have.
Work around the consoles, reverse engineer shit that I have. What are you saying?
Oh, gotcha.
So that's what I'm into now. It's just like it all has become like a hobbyist thing for me at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like for
Dude,
me.
you guys want to see my engineering degree? I actually have it right. I'm also an engineer. I don't know if you guys knew this. You guys want to see my engineering degree? Whoa! You see all those lines of code on my DS? It's like fucking cutting out. Dude, it's crazy. The shit that I used to do, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, look at it. It's like woodworking and shit. Like those woodworking channels. I'm like, oh, this is just like me sitting down for 2 hours, like killing time and like working on a long form project, but not something.
And we all belived him because he's Indian Lamar.
No, he's a qualified guy, right?
That I would ever care to ever be bothering doing again, even as a career path. It's just too stressful. It's like boring.
Yeah, a lot.
Oops. Just thing that we do now, you know.
In 2023, he's calling himself an engineer a lot, just like before. But in March, he claims he just invests money again.
Were you into business before doing YouTube?
Couldn't please parents, now the N-word haunts him.
No.
Wait, was this just... Is that why he's lying? It wasn't out of insecurity at all. It was just out of... Well, it was out of insecurity, but to his parents. He's actually fine being known as a YouTuber, but if his Indian mom and dad found out that he was anything but an engineer or a lawyer or whatever the third thing was, right? That's why he has to make it sound like bullshit, right?
Like, you know, I worked and then...
That's crazy.
It's pretty much like my job. Like, I worked and then now I have enough money to, like, you know, buy property and, like, invest, and that's pretty much what I do.
In August, he gave the impression he still worked as an engineer.
All right, as an engineer, if I show up to my office and I fuck up, okay, I don't have a job anymore.
But then he also mentions working at his own company that does asset management and property development.
At our company, like not YouTube, but outside YouTube, like when it comes
Dude,
to
this guy just has like 90 jobs.
Work, property, and
yet
everything.
somehow, even having all these jobs, he's still able to focus on YouTube and just uploading daily slop every day, even though out of all of his jobs, YouTube's just a hobby. It's a therapeutic hobby that he does, right? That's why he does YouTube stuff. It's really just like to get his mind off of things. It's not even a job. But he's still able to like consistently upload daily slop. And not just like, he's not just uploading 10-minute videos every day of him just talking out of his ass. He's uploading 10-minute daily videos on the news. So he has to keep up to date with what's going on. He has to think about things that are, you know, going on and have an opinion and commentate and research and, you know what I mean? But he's still able to do that despite having 90 other jobs. Got it.
Like our like asset management, property development, stuff like that.
So before YouTube, Mutahar did the computer, programming, cybersecurity work he thinks
I love the
entitles
fucking timeline.
him to call himself an engineer. Between 2013 and 2015, he's studying his videography diploma. From 2015 to 2020, he's a video editor, and from 2021 onwards, he's a day trader, investor, and eventually the CEO of his own company that does asset management and property development. He's also calling himself an engineer the whole time.
Property development, so he's building like skyscrapers and shit on top of all his other shit.
We already know he's not an actual engineer, but is he actually a business owner? Because there's some weird inconsistencies in the things he says about it as well.
As a boss, and I don't know, like, this is gonna sound like kind of cold, but I don't make jokes at the office. I don't make any fucking jokes at an office. I am not this kind of Mutahar, okay? So to explain what kind of person I am, like at the office, I'm just like...
At the office?
How's work? What are we doing? What's the plan for today? Like, literally, it's as matter of frank as I can be. I don't partake in jokes. I don't do any of that fucking shit. And if I see fucked up jokes...
So Mutahar has an office now full of people?
You know, which I haven't seen. I stopped that shit right there. I always have to, like, you always have to be professional at your office. And sometimes you come across as, like, a deadpan motherfucker, but it's better to be deadpan than, you know, turn your office into, like, what I mean is, like, I never would have my office turn into, like, frat house workplace. Like, it would never be a frat house.
He would never allow his office to turn into a frat house. But 8 months later...
To be fair, like, there is a betting pool in amongst, like, office friends, because we do talk about, like, which gig streamer's dying first.
Yeah, and,
Isn't that pretty fratty? Isn't that a fucked up joke? Could it be possible that Mutahar has been faking having a job all along? Doing daily uploads while being a CEO 9 to 5 is a pretty busy schedule, as Ethan said. When he was on the Unsubscribed podcast, Mutahar made sure to let everyone know he works 9 to
Billy Mitchell's like, damn.
5, and that he's a very serious businessman.
Legitimately still have a 9 to 5.
Yeah, I have a 9 to 5.
Dude, he works in hours and hours. That's what, like, this is why I respect it. How many subs do you have on YouTube?
I think like 3.4 or 5 million or something. I don't know the exact
3.5, like 3.5 million. We'll say that. And you're still doing multiple 9 to 5s where you're running different businesses. You were talking about Q4
I'm the CEO of our own company. Like, I'm the CEO of like our own group. We do a lot of like property and like asset investment around where we live. We're getting into construction and everything too. So it's like for us, like my job is a 9 to 5 every day.
You upload how many videos?
Connor says multiple 9 to 5s, by the way. Multiple.
Friends like these, who needs enemies?
Okay. I'm not a bad person, dude. Just stop. By the way, Billy mentions in the chat, use code RFC for that hot sauce.
A week.
A day. Like, I upload it every day.
Jesus. This is why exactly, and why I always
he really loves bathing in that praise, but it's not enough.
Unironically, though, every podcast Mutahar is on, he's like, yeah, I do this and this and this, and then everyone's like, damn, you have a big
There's
cock.
nothing wrong with victim blaming.
Everyone's just like, damn, Mutahar, shit. Like, this guy's really accomplished. Like, they just start praising and sucking. And Mutahar's just like, listen, I don't like to get into it. Come on, dude.
He needs to flex more.
Well, that's like the algorithm tell, right? Like when you're like an engineer and somebody's like, man, why does the algorithm keep feeding me? I'm like, bro, what's the last 10 things you watched?
Nick is making calls to the cabal as you're talking.
No, he's not. Nick likes that I leaked it.
When you're like an engineer and somebody's like, man, why does the algorithm keep feeding me? I'm like, bro, what's the last 10 things you watched? Gay porn? It's probably going to give you the 11 videos. I'm just saying.
Driving there, we were talking about cybersecurity because that's what you went to school for. You're like, homeboy's very smart. You do actually business, and then YouTube is a secondary
YouTube is always
thing.
like the secondary side gig. It's
Then he brags.
YouTube is always the secondary. I don't do YouTube. You know what he reminds me of? Do you guys remember Nicole Arbor? Do you guys know Nicole Arbor? Dude, I played this before on stream. When Nicole Arbor, she went on this comedian Louis J. Gomez's podcast. And during the whole podcast, they're like, so you're a YouTuber, right? You're a YouTuber. And she's like, no, I do comedy. I'm a comedian. I do comedy. I'm a comedian. Blah, 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 blah. I'm a comedian. And the whole time, they're just ripping into her and like, no, you're a fucking YouTuber, and sometimes you do stand-up, and it's pretty shit, but that's okay. You're mainly a fucking YouTuber. And she's like, well, actually, most of my income is from comedy. And they just drill her down for like an hour, and she eventually starts like raging. She's like, she calls them misogynistic assholes and stuff like that. It's so fucking funny. I played that on stream before. It's one of my favorite podcasts.
About his charitable donations, and we see behind.
But it reminds me. The point of me bringing it up is that it reminds me of Mutahar. It reminds me of where Mutahar like will go on these podcasts and he'll be like, YouTube's just a thing I do on the side. It doesn't really mean that much to me at all. You know, I'm a businessman. I run multiple companies. I do multiple 9 to 5s. How does that work? Do you like split your body and travel to 2 different businesses? How do you do multiple 9 to 5? Why are you working a 9 to 5? You're a millionaire. Why are you even doing a 9 to 5 at all? Is that supposed to be cool? Yeah, I do the 7-Eleven 9 to 5. I don't do YouTube. That's stupid.
the curtain how uninformed Mutahar actually is.
Like for me, it's like the receipts. If I could tabulate them up every year, you know, like like during COVID, I probably gave away $200,000 of charity, and it was like out of my personal accounts. I don't write any of this off.
Hold on, bullshit. Back that up.
Then he brags about his charitable donations, and we see behind the curtain how uninformed Mutahar actually is.
Like for me, it's like the receipts. If I could tabulate them up every year, you know, like like during COVID, I probably gave away $200,000 of charity, and it was like out of my personal accounts. I don't write any of this off for taxes because I don't believe in writing off charity for taxes. I think it's a
so many insane claims. First of all, I give hundreds of thousands of dollars away to charity every year. Receipts, please. Please show me the receipts, because there's no way. But second of all, I don't believe in writing off my charity and taxes. That's a very stupid thing to do. No, why would you say that? I actually just like giving my money away to the fucking government. Who gives a fuck? Does he think that this sounds virtuous? Or that sounds cool? Not writing off your charity from your taxes? Why would anybody think that that's cool or be impressed by that? You just sound like an idiot.
Like during COVID, I probably gave away $200,000 of charity, and it was like out of my personal accounts. I don't write any of this off for taxes because I don't believe in writing off charity for taxes.
I don't believe in writing off charity for taxes? Why? Does he think that makes him sound more virtuous? Like he thinks that, oh, a lot of people just give their charity away just as a tax write-off. I don't do that. Is that what he's going for? Dude, this guy just sounds like a moron.
I think it's a pretty shitty thing to do.
Writing off charitable donations is a shitty thing to do. How? Why?
Yeah, literally why? Why is that bad?
That means is that the money you donated is tax exempt. It means you can donate more money to charity, as Brandon Herrera says.
It's a pretty shitty thing to do. Well, for me, it's like
the more money you can write off, the more money you can keep from the government and spend it better, you know, putting it toward more charity.
I like a Brandon, is that Brandon Herrera or something? I don't know these people's name. I like who he just immediately clocks him. He's like, you should do that. The fuck?
Money you can keep from the government and spend it better, you know, putting it toward more charity.
The money that I
How can you be?
And then Mutahar be like, well, he just looks like a moron. Oh my god, dude.
The CEO of a company, a serious businessman who knows his shit, but you don't understand basic accounting.
You want to talk about social battery? Like 7 is when I get up. I got to be in meetings every fucking day. My work day doesn't end until like 4 p.m. That's when I get like a chance to open up the Premiere Pro project file for the video, and I get to work on that, and then I get to upload that a day later. Like, I don't believe in days off. Like, I literally can't believe in a day off. Like, I'm always like,
I don't believe in days off, man. I don't believe in that. You just sound like an asshole.
Like jittery because I'm like I want to do work. Like I really do like enjoy doing work. Like any day that I don't feel like I do my job, fucking cry about it. I'm like, this fucking sucks.
He works till 4 p.m. every day and cannot take a day off. However, he seemed pretty happy to take a day off to watch a video game commercial from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on a Thursday.
I love to read comment sections in videos. That is probably the best part of doing YouTube.
Connor says in the comments, someone needs to investigate the sun in the background of all Muto's videos and calculate when he records. No way he only records past 4 p.m. Wow. Can we get an A-log to investigate this?
Content creation is reading the comment sections of what a video has to offer. You know, as a content creator, the coolest thing is like when you see like 1,000 comments on a video, because I'm somebody that likes lurking internet forums and just reading internet discourse, right? Especially when it comes to topics I enjoy. So when you read 1,000 comments, you're like, all right, shit, let me line up and get ready, boys. Let me read that shit all day.
This guy has a wife, he's a CEO, he works 9 to 5, and he uploads daily. How do you have the time to read YouTube comments from random people? Check this out.
You should be an upstanding, good citizen, okay? I wake up, I do my job.
The fucking chirp? Hello?
I come home.
Many of the instances where Mutahar says YouTube isn't his job are from videos where he rants about how unstable YouTube is as a job because of their never-ending policy changes. These
you could learn from Mutah's work ethic.
Wow. Hey, I have a strong work ethic, man. Fuck you.
Things supposedly don't impact him.
Listen, just like Mutahar, I also have a lot of mysterious jobs, okay? You guys don't know shit of what I'm up to. I run companies too. Lots of companies. I run a multimedia company.
Does YouTube to relax, but he's always obviously upset in these videos. He consistently paints himself as a hard worker.
Actually, one of my employees is also named Mutahar.
It sounds like you worked really hard in high school. You're talking about taking night classes, doing community service, like side jobs on the side, like...
Yeah, no, it's blurred. I'll help you understand.
He has this insane work ethic, but he's also curious about how Destiny can get so many things done.
I noticed that you do like a lot of canvassing, like you actually go out of your way. You've launched your own like podcast with like other people, the bridges, and it's like, what is next really? Like, how do you kind of manage all that too? That's the other big thing that I kind of wanted to come in.
Is your mysterious jobs OnlyFans? Manchi?
It's just nasty.
Too, because it's like, it really feels like you're a one-man show, but you're doing like a lot of shit and you're managing it pretty well.
Destiny's too lazy to cook for himself. He's not the workaholic with an excessively tight schedule he can never pull back. If Mutahar's stories about himself are true, he should not be impressed by Destiny at all. Mutahar also often claims that he's an immigrant and equates that to him being poor or his family being poor. He will say his father had to go through medical school twice, not recognizing the privilege of being able to go through it even once. You don't need to come up with all these hardships you've been through. Everyone can already see your life is a struggle. You're not white, and you still can't say the N-word. He's got this other laugh about not buying anything expensive.
Very rarely.
Whoa, what the fuck was that? Wait, what?
To go through medical school twice, not recognizing the privilege of being able to go through it even once. You don't need to come up with all these hardships you've been through. Everyone can already see your life is a struggle. You're not white.
Yo, Truth Nuke. Yo, Truth Nuke. That is a struggle.
And you still can't say the N-word. He's got this other laugh about not buying anything expensive.
Very rarely am I trying to pay full price for any of this computer crap. You don't need to, all right? I don't overspend my money on crazy computer chairs. I think whatever I can get at Costco fits me fine enough. As far as my peripherals go, I have some SteelSeries headsets, keyboards, and a Logitech.
Word on the street is that Augie's side job is owning an island and a private plane named the Boy Soprano Express sus if you ask me.
Nice.
Mouse, which I think is really awesome. If anything, I overspend on my monitors.
He's so frugal, but he also owns a luxury diving watch worth almost 10 grand. If you have an easy life because you were born to a rich family, just enjoy it. If you're rich, just enjoy being rich. Improve your production value. Get some acoustic treatment. Get some monitor arms. Show your audience that if you work hard and succeed in life, you can have nice things. Why not? So, was Ethan Klein right all along?
I upload every day and YouTube's not even my job. I was like, shut the fuck up, bro. But like, yes it is. Shut up, bro.
I'm not going to claim.
Hey, man, when Ethan has the W, I'll say it. You know what I mean? I'm not like an Ethan Glaze or anything like that, but when he says something funny, it's like, yeah, I mean, Ethan's take on Mutahar. At least his previous take on Mutahar. Now they're friends again, I guess. But like back then, 100%.
Mutahar has absolutely no jobs beyond YouTube, even though the things he says about his business are very vague and inconsistent. However, he has definitely been lying about being an engineer for a decade, benefiting from the prestige, the authority, and the credibility that comes with that label. You don't call yourself an engineer dozens of times without specifying you're talking about programming jobs you did 10 years ago. He's clearly mostly just a self-taught tech enthusiast, not an engineer. He's seen as a cybersecurity expert or as a cybersecurity engineer, as he called himself.
This is why, as a cybersecurity engineer...
But when he assisted Nux Taku in tracking down the V-Shoujo swatter, he fell for a basic social engineering trick, where the swatter, who was a minor, pretended to be one of Nux's fans who knew the swatter in real life, and fed them a bunch of bogus information.
I appreciate the random fan who was in that Discord server that actually contacted me and reached out to me about this stuff. Oh my god, you guys are legends, honestly.
V-Shoujo's cybersecurity expert knew this was bullshit. The cybersecurity engineer did not. Mutahar doesn't do drama content anymore because it's all...
You just felt like the most obvious bait of all time, where somebody was just like, hey, I know where the swatter is. I'm friends with them in high school or whatever. And Mutahar just fell for that just immediately.
Needless negativity, and YouTube isn't his job. However, he still weighed in on the pirate software drama after videos about it began going mega viral. What insight is Mutahar, the computer engineer who knows all of this shit, going to weigh in with?
No. Right now, as a video editor, I do more engineering now, so back-end programming for effects work. I'm working on a new codec for video right now for H.265, so we can actually transmit better video quality at higher resolutions. I'm actually doing something which I want to sell to Microsoft at some point later on. So I've been designing AI toolset that basically you can inject, hopefully, into like video tools, and this is gonna be like video games or whatever, right? So it's like, let's say that Microsoft backwards compatibility, right? So I had this tool idea. This is kind of what I got going in my head. So I have this idea, and I hope to one day sell it to Microsoft, right? So what I do is, since I have a really good video background, right? I've been designing neural stuff around it. So what I want to do one day is, you know how Microsoft has backwards compatibility, right? So would it be really fun if I could design a way that Microsoft could take the textures in their video games, right? So they could take the textures mapped in their video games and find a way to AI upgrade them. So like basically use a fucking photo AI, like basically use an artificial intelligence that can scan across, you know, all these textures and just fucking upscale them to like 4K, 8K, whatever they want to go to, and make games
AI
look better.
Upscaler. That's what he wants to make. He wants to make something that AI upscale of fucking video game texture. Holy fuck. He wants to make a graphics mod or something like that. I don't know. What the fuck is he talking about? Why did it take him so damn long to describe something so simple? What the fuck did I just listen to?
Needing, you know, developers to make it better, right? That could be an idea for me. It sounds simple on paper. Obviously, it's very, very, very fucking time consuming to make it even as effective as you want.
He knows how to program video encoders. He knows graphics APIs and AI tools in 2019. What does he know in 2025? What can he add?
One of the code bases that we're looking at over here is this falling particle.
Oh my god, here is critiquing pirate software, as he's now become, again, the new pirate software.
A lot of numbers that are being dropped in here, and one of the things that you'll tend to see in pirate software's code is magic number abuse.
Nothing unique, nothing new, nothing that Coding Jesus didn't say in his video, which Mutahar keeps mentioning.
There's nothing wrong with having shit code, right? There's nothing wrong with being bad at it. I'm not a fucking great coder either.
So I'm actually doing something which I want to sell to Microsoft at some point later on.
But I'm also not claiming to be this crazy fucking guru hacker.
Dude, I got downs listening to that explanation. Bro, look at this, right? So, fucking Billy Mitchell tweeted just now, Mutahar will be sued, which is very funny, because that's like his thing or whatever. It's just saying he's gonna sue people. But earlier today, he tweeted, he's like, who cares about the Mutahar
top
stuff?
of Muta's wiki trivia, oh my god.
I'll pull that up in a second. Thank you for that donation. Billy tweeted earlier today, this morning, I'm not understanding why anyone cares if Mutahar is an engineer or not. So he was like, hearing about the drama, but he's like, is this really that crazy? Like, who cares? Now he's tweeting, I investigated further and identified the broader context thanks to the scale of internet troglodytes seething over a simple inquiry. Now he's saying Mutahar will be sued. So see how quickly Billy Mitchell understands and gets it? Fucking king, dude. Code RFC for some Ricky's hot sauce. And he sent me some habanero sauce that I'll be opening on stream. I genuinely love his hot sauce, dude. I'm not even joking. Okay, what did Colton say for me to pull up? Colton sent me two. It says, read the top of Muta's wiki trivia. Mutahar's wiki trivia? Like, couldn't you just link it? Like, do I have to look this shit up?
As a guy working in television who just spent the day at a visual effects place, I'd love to see some of Muta's TV work. Receipts? Documentary footage?
Yes, where are the receipts, please? Thank you for the $5. Alright, what is this on Mutahar's Wikitubia trivia? Where was it? Mutahar suffers from recurring sleep paralysis and has stated in multiple videos that sleeping in Minecraft helped with it. I mean, that just sounds real, though. I've always been jealous of his sleeping in Minecraft videos. It just sounds awesome.
Expert in the world.
Yeah, for the past 10 years you've been claiming to be an engineer.
What does that mean? Dude, I can see how that would work, right? You're sleeping, you got sleep paralysis, you just put on the Oculus Rift, you just go to sleep in Minecraft. It makes sense to me. What, is this crazy to you guys? He did a video about how having Minecraft open in VR helped him sleep. I gotta be honest, that doesn't sound that crazy to me. I don't know.
Computer engineer, a computer science engineer, a cybersecurity engineer. You fuck with code.
Dude, I'm a fucking computer engineer.
I'm a YouTuber. Why are you asking me?
You do programming as a hobby, but when it comes to showing your knowledge, you only know the basics. Now you're here judging someone for inflating their credentials. At least Pirate Software's lies didn't break the law. At least he actually worked at Blizzard for 7 years.
Again, when you have an ego, you gotta be able to match it with the skill. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that skill is all the way there. Unless that skill is making a whole lot of spaghetti code. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. I am out.
Man, what a great way to end a video. Let's check out some of those comments. We love reading the comments from regular commenters like Mr. Obvious. I wonder what he's into.
Mr. Obvious says, my feel win, I might as well be all for. And then we see some lolly here featuring some underage characters. Here's 2 more drawings of underage characters posted by Mr. Obvious. Kinda strange, isn't it? Mr. Obvious says boys heart emoji. And then underneath that, we can see a photo of an underage girl who is pulling anal beads.
This guy just makes videos celebrating his fucking lolly. I mean, I don't know how this ties to Mutahar, but I mean, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Out of her anus using her feet. That's quite the talent.
Wow.
Oh.
Let me line up and get ready, boys. Let me read that shit all day.
So, that was my appetizer for my...
About to find out Mutahar's polycythemia vera.
Upcoming video. Given his
Oh my god, remember when Mutahar was on, like... Okay, when Boogie lied about having cancer, they did like 20 different lolcow live streams talking about it. And Mutahar was on every single fucking stream. And that is weird for Mutahar to be such like a frequent caller. I mean, even on my show. Now, let me just be clear, okay? I'm not like a complete piece of shit. I appreciate Mutahar for coming on my show so many times and giving us content and stuff like that, right? He was, in my opinion, Mutahar was one of my more favorite parts of old RFC, you know, RFC After Hours. I did enjoy having him on. You know, but if he was such a busy person, owning multiple 9-to-5s, running all these businesses, real estate, blah, 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 whatever he's working on, plus his own channel, how did he have so much time to waste it away on fucking my streams? I mean, let's just be real here. My streams are, you know, nothing. They're like a blip on the YouTube map, but yet Mutahar was on here all the time. Mutahar was on lolcow Live like every day for like a month. How does he have so much time to not only does he have time to dedicate to his hobby YouTube, but he has all this time to dedicate to even just calling into streams where he's like gaining nothing for himself. He's just there. It's crazy.
Consistent stories. Mutahar is either lying about his job and business, or he tells really pathetic made-up stories about them to sound more interesting. Once again, I am not a lawyer. It might not be illegal for Mutahar to lie about being an engineer, but by any reasonable definition, he is a total fraud. He has no computer engineering degree, or even a computer science degree, but he still presents himself as an engineer, a computer engineer, or a computer science engineer. He is not trained in this field, and he is not employed at these roles. He is a self-taught hobbyist, a dilettante, not an engineer. Despite admitting that he hasn't been an engineer in years, not that he ever was, he continues to introduce himself as one, letting his audience's imagination run wild and conclude him to be far more qualified than he actually is. It does not matter that he seldom admits to being a former engineer or that he hasn't been an engineer in years. The bigger picture that he's painting to his audience is that he is a licensed, actively practicing engineer, which, based on his own statements, isn't true and cannot be true.
Max is the thinnest skinned bitch that I've ever seen when it comes to taking actual criticism on the platform. There is a way back from the mistakes that he's made. It just involves being a man and taking actual criticism to account and realizing that, yes, your entire career was a lie. Maybe it's time to turn that around, but he doesn't really want to be doing that. He wants a win when he can't even carve one out.
Mutahar has been telling this lie for 10 years. This lie is almost too old for his friend Nux Taku to masturbate to.
Oh god, oh no, Mousy, you recognize these numbers?
I mean, how does he talk with such, like, vitriol, like, authority on, like, Max, like, or just anyone that he's covered? Because he would frequently on this show. It would surprise me. I remember the first few times Mutahar would call into my show, and I would actually be surprised at how strong of a take that he was giving on something, given that he's such a big YouTuber. You know, he's got to keep his composure. I mean, he's more of a professional guy or something like that, right? But he'd come on my show and talk a bunch of shit, and I'd be like, damn, that's just kind of surprising to me, right? But that kind of happened a lot with YouTubers. You saw that with Edwin a lot, too. Like, Edwin had this, like, audience, this very woman-centric audience. He had to be careful about what he's saying. But then he'd come on my show, and he'd just fucking let it all. He'd be saying slurs. He'd just be letting it all out, right? And it surprised me, but I guess they just feel like these other YouTubers, they just feel like once they're on my channel, they can kind of just go nuts, and then they just can go back to their own channels and pretend to be something else. It's a very funny thing to, yeah, RFC unironically was a safe space for a lot of these bigger guys. It's actually so funny.
What do the numbers mean, Mousy? What do they?
They wanted us to accept them. Well, that's so funny because it makes you think, like, on the broader scale, if you were just allowed to say slurs and be right-wing on YouTube, every fucking YouTuber, the most normie, PC, cucked guy you would know, would be the most racist, over-the-top guy you know. Because, let's be honest, like, Twitter is proof of it. The more racist you are on Twitter, you can almost be obnoxiously racist, where it's, like, too much. It's like you're trying too hard, right? But that's what people like on Twitter, because it's allowed. So if YouTube worked like that, too, it'd be the same thing, where you could just kind of be, like, if YouTube just was, like, an open platform where they just allowed anything to happen, everybody wouldn't just be normal. They would be as far to the right as possible, because that would give them the most social validation that they're craving for quickly.
What do they mean?
Click on it.
Tell us! I've never even pondered the thought that we can have lolly and guro and bondage all in one thing. That's amazing.
Oh my god.
On the topic of recklessly allowing the audience's imagination to run wild, what do you think about this clip?
Oh, what? Bro.
I don't even know what that was.
That was some kid just sent you a video of them shitting and then shooting a dog with a Nerf gun.
It's a funny coincidence that the last time I reminded Mutahar.
Why is that Oompaville? Video of a real child shitting? That was some kid you just sent a video of them shitting and then shooting a dog with a Nerf gun.
And then shooting a dog with a Nerf gun.
It's a funny coincidence that the last time I reminded Mutahar about his own country's laws, it was about him watching cartoon child porn with Nux Taku, not realizing that in Canada, it fits under the legal definition of child porn.
Wait, you showed porn in those videos?
He tried
Wait, he showed child porn in those videos?
to ignore it for months. But then Hassan Piker drew attention to my video. Mutahar panicked, and he threw Nux Taku under the bus while obfuscating his own culpability. The hit piece didn't land, so they settled everything in private, and still lie about what happened. Why did Mutahar make a 40-minute hit piece where he condemned someone over and over again? No reason. It was just a goof. And oopsie, he's not hiding anything. There was nothing incredibly immoral and disgusting that he was aware of and tolerated for years. Something he would condemn any other person for. But in this case, he swept it all away. They also were not the only ones who knew about it and stayed quiet. The truth will soon be revealed. Remember to subscribe to see it when it drops.
Okay.
Next time, things are gonna be a little bit different.
Whoa! Yo! Rape mode! Holy shit. That's a crazy thing to include in a video like this. What the fuck is this? Bruh.
One more thing.
At least where I live, in the okay, I don't want to like dox myself through this.
As just a public service announcement, you shouldn't make it a habit of mentioning how far a certain location is from your house.
I actually called up a EB Games near my place, probably like minutes away.
Because of caption searches, every instance you've done it over the years can be found in seconds, giving potentially
Okay, is this the part where the video just goes like unhinged? Nick didn't show this?
dangerous people the ability to triangulate the location of your house. Mutahar's fortunately only done it literally once, right after moving into his current house.
Now, of course, just to add further context, this house is like minutes away from the...
Now, I'm sure Mutahar's lying about the travel time estimate here, but just don't say anything like this. It sets a really bad example to other creators. You also shouldn't show a picture of yourself somewhere and forget to censor all the names of the stores, even when they are at an angle. I am not an IT guy, but I know how to do this.
Is he just teaching people how to dox Mutahar? What is this? What the fuck? Wow.
Oi! You have to pay for that, young man. I'm a fucking computer engineer. I don't care.
Wow. Hold on, what is this part? The only power I have is the one you give me when you lie. By the way, you're exhibiting some of the most obvious signs of undiagnosed ADHD I've ever seen. I know you claimed you don't have it in October of 2024, but I have reasons to believe that wasn't something confirmed by a doctor, and I'm very certain you don't know what it is. Trust me, I'm an ADHD engineer. This video is just unhinged. It's very simple and quick form you can fill out to prove me wrong. Okay, alright, this video is just... Okay, so that went a little bit crazy towards the end of it there, but, well then. That's crazy. Okay, so that was Nick Andrews' video. I mean, I think it... Despite the ending there, it did sort of paint a picture of like, yeah, there's no fucking chance. It really just the main thing is that Mutahar is obviously deeply insecure about being a YouTuber. And that's very funny. And I don't know why he has this problem. And I'm curious to see how he's going to respond to it. Unfortunately, I don't think he really is planning to respond to it. Now, I do have some stuff of Mutahar responding. Before we get into that, Connor had told me, I wasn't planning on watching this specific video. Apparently this goes over some new Mutahar stuff, and Connor told me that this video was especially damning, and he recommended that I watch it. So, I'll play right now. This is from Harmful Opinions. Dickers in chat, what's going on, man? Nicandros isn't a crazy guy. These were just parts of his main upcoming video. He didn't feel gelled with the rest. Okay, well, what's his upcoming video about?
Today's video is brought...
Alright, this is, I Hate Mutahar, Harmful Opinions. I was told this video is very good.
Today's video is brought to you by my stupidity, ladies and gentlemen. I am not a smart person. I am a very stupid individual.
Yesterday, in preparation to watch a video by Nicandros on stream, I took a quick look into who Mutahar is because I wasn't really familiar with him. As it turns out, he's a really interesting guy. Mutahar really likes to...
MH_ Liquid Snake Stream Archive has become a channel member.
Smaggle says, before you go over this video, go over the tweet that I sent you. Look at the tweet that I sent you. What is this right here? Apparently, Mutahar's wife implied on Instagram that my video light doxed Mutahar as opposed to dark doxing him because I showed how easily the GameStop he said was located from his house. Stupid was to locate due to Mutahar's sloppy Opsec. Everyone signal boosting a video with a light dox, and now people are working to dox our family. Fuck you. Mutahar won't respond to the video, but his wife will throw out accusations of people trying to dox their family. Right. Oh boy. Well, this is, I knew, of course, that was going to be the thing. Right, well, I mean, to be honest, of course, when Nicandrus goes to that, like, length, I mean, that's obviously the talking point that he's handing Mutahar here, right? I don't think that last bit in that video was necessary. I mean, was it funny? Yeah. I mean, does it demonstrate poor OPSEC? Yeah, but is it necessary to put in, like, a public video? I mean, probably not. I'm just throwing that out there, but, I wasn't really necessarily gelling with where that was going, but I don't know. It is kind of weird to only respond to that, though, I will say, but it is what it is.
To remind people that
YouTube isn't my job.
People scoff at this, but it's true. It's not his job. It's much more than that. It is the core of who he is and the foundation of his self-worth.
I'll be honest with you guys. I have a reason to live, really, and that's you all. You know, might sound grim. You know, you might be like, what are you trying to say? No, that's the truth. You know, I have a reason to really go on living, you know what I mean? Other than that, what else did I have forward to look to in my life? Future of a menial job and whatnot, you know, just becoming the standard 9-to-5.
Being watched and adored by strangers on the internet is entwined with his mental health to a disturbing degree.
You're important to me, you know? If I ever lost one subscriber, I feel heartbroken. If, you know, what? I do lose.
Okay, but honestly, though, I feel the same way. When I lose a subscriber, I do feel heartbroken.
I feel heartbroken because that's one person who used to like what I did, and they're gone.
He's wise not—
Is it really that deep? Or is it just one person that's like, not watching this anymore?
Not to say so much anymore, as any normal person will find the sentiment quite sickening, but I think deep down, he still views his subscribers as literal family to him.
I'm not even kidding, I'd die for you. Is it
I'd die for you guys?
Really makes you think about when he constantly reminds us that he never has that urge when he's talking about predators.
I see the point you're making. I don't know if I agree with that. But, yeah. Thank you for the donation, though. Really makes you think, huh? Yeah, Mutahar's like, I would die for my subscribers. I gotta be honest, if I saw my subscribers in real life, I would kill you guys. You guys are all freaks.
You all mean
no
a lot
offense.
To me. You have to realize that. Okay, this is a family to me. I treat you all as if you were my brothers and sisters, right? Like, that's how deep the connection is, at least for me. All right? I know it sounds somewhat weird to people. It's like, why would you say that? No, it's the truth. Okay, I love you all.
Before you complain that the tidbits we'll be trolling through today are 10 years old, I'd like to remind you that that's still more recent than the pirate software-esque high school Nepo daycare Mutahar apparently still uses to big himself up as being a professional engineer with.
I was basically finishing up my, high school diploma and everything, and at the time, I worked a little computer programming job. I worked as a pen tester, you know what I mean? Like, I got into the whole thing early, I had a couple connections.
Or perhaps his claims of being an engineer come from the job he quit in 2013 to pursue film when he was 18 or 19, which is presumably the awful bank app programming job you may have heard him mention.
So, for me, I left that job. I left pen test, I left all that kind of stuff. I left a soulless career, and I jumped onto film and TV.
Then again, maybe none of this is where his claims of being an engineer come from, because back then, he called the career path that of a blue-collar computer programmer. Did you know that he didn't actually start calling himself specifically an engineer until over a year after he stopped studying to become one and started pursuing film instead? As far as I can tell from public record, it's only in 2015 that he switched from saying he was a programmer to saying he was an engineer. At first a dead-end computer engineer, but over time, somehow, for some reason, it morphed into a source of pride and, more importantly, credibility, and he clearly became very attached to the title.
I'm an engineer. I'm a fucking engineer. I'm a goddamn engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm a fucking engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm only an engineer. Okay, I'm an engineer. So I'm an engineer. I'm just an engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm just a fucking engineer. I'm a goddamn engineer. I'm a fucking engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer. As an engineer, being an engineer, I have to tell you as an engineer. I'm just a dumb engineer as an engineer. My engineer asked, but as an engineer, so I'm just a fucking dumb fucking engineer. Like, I can tell her, like, I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer. As an engineer, I'm an engineer. As somebody that is an engineer, as an engineer. I'm saying I'm the number one engineer as an engineer. As an engineer, right? As an engineer, I'm just an engineer. Speaking as somebody that is an engineer, I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer.
It would seem that the further he gets from being an engineer, the more of an engineer he becomes. I have to agree with Nicandros that it looks very strange. It looks even stranger though, if you happen to be aware that in 2014 he made a video where he claims to have worked in video editing, film and TV for 4 years.
If you don't know, I work in the video editing industry and I work in film and television in general, and in there I get a lot of work, thank God. I'm a kind of guy who hasn't had a vacation in about 4 years now, because even if I try to have a vacation, I always end up bringing work with me, and while I do have a good time, I do end up working constantly. So for 4 years, I have been pretty much working the whole same job. And
that job, 4 years, 2014. So you were doing that since 2010, 2 years before you normally tell us you started to get interested in editing to begin with. I'll put this one down to him having a stroke or something. He's not the most coherent speaker at the best of times. But there is at least one genuine issue with his career in editing and film that I noticed. You may not have known that Mutahar has a very strong connection to Japan. In August of 2015, he let everyone know that he lived there at some point.
For those of you who don't know, I used to actually primarily work and operate in Japan. And man, when I lived over there, Japan's a really interesting place, alright?
He's also visited many times for work. Mutahar has made some videos where he talks about real spooky experiences he's had. One of those being when he heard footsteps in Japan. In that video, he also talks about his work there. He explains he went to make a documentary on Aokigahara Forest.
I go to Japan. I have work in Japan annually that I do. If you guys don't know what I do for a living, it's video editing and whatnot, and I work on production work. Now, in Japan, there is a forest called Aokigahara Forest. Now, I'm on there doing a shoot. It's sort of like a documentary-esque look into Aokigahara Forest.
He tells us that he had to trek through that forest, and that he came across clothing which he picked up.
So, as we're trekking through the forest, I come across clothing. Now, the guy who's coming with us, who basically shows us the forest and navigates us through it, tells me that it's fresh. Incredibly sad sight to bear. And I picked it up and I held it for a little bit and I, soaked it all in.
It might be tempting to assume because he's telling a ghost story that this is completely made up. But it's not a fantastical story, it's his IRL ghost stories. And all that happened was he heard some footsteps and got scared. It is presented as truth. And he actually talks about his visit again 3 years later in 2018, when he condemns Jake Paul for his Aokigahara video. And he says something interesting.
Me personally, I have a little bit of history to this, and the reason I'm making this video is because I've been to the same forest, Aokigahara Forest in Japan. It is a very ethereal place, a place where a lot of people die.
And what does he say he did there?
Me visiting there at one point in my life, it is a very interesting place. I never had the entire intention to film it, never did.
He never intended to film there, and he never did film there. When you were there, as you told us before, to film a documentary-esque video on the forest.
But I've never seen any dead body, never seen it, but then again, I never really ventured too far into it. I got to see it firsthand.
You never ventured too far in to the forest you said 3 years ago you trekked through.
I love the obsessive level. Trust me, I'm not saying obsessive in a bad way, right? I'm just saying it's like I love how closely Mutahar is being studied right now. Like people are watching his 2018 Logan Paul coverage compared to some IRL ghost story. Who the fuck even knew he made an IRL ghost story? It's like crazy to see like just the microscopic level of detail that Mutahar is being analyzed in right now. And this could have all been probably avoided if he had just kept the Nux video up.
With a small crew.
Think about that, right? If he kept his video talking shit about Nux up, nobody would have really any issue with him. Right now, I don't think they would. Maybe I just don't know the full story, but I feel like they probably wouldn't. Nobody would care.
To be fair, he is consistent about never seeing a dead body, which he said before he, would have buried.
Thankfully, the good part about the story is we never came across that body. And it's also sad in a way, too, because if I did, I'd definitely give it a fucking burial and whatnot, dude.
What? If you found a random dead body, he would bury it himself? Is that what you're supposed to do? What? Not like call the police or anything like that? I would bury it I would give it a good burial. Okay.
Honor the dead and shit.
Nevertheless, at least...
What do you say? I honor the dead and shit?
Too, because if I did, I'd definitely give it a fucking burial and whatnot, dude, to honor the dead and shit.
Nevertheless...
I'd definitely give it a good burial, man. I'd honor the dead and shit. You know?
At least one of these stories must be a lie. I would suggest there's a hint about which one in this bizarre phrasing.
I never had the entire intention to film it, never did.
Never had the entire intention to film it? And the fact that telling people about how you messed around with the clothing of people who recently killed themselves wouldn't be a good look in a video condemning Jake Paul for his lack of respect. Engineer or not, he's certainly told at least one lie about his film career. Anyway, enough of that for now. Let's get back to the claims of being an engineer. Well, these days he simply peppers his questionable qualification into any coverage he can. A decade ago, he was much naughtier, in a way that seems to have never been addressed. Many people don't care if some guy on YouTube is saying he's an engineer, even if he really can't rightfully use that title. But he's done something a bit more than that, a bit more specific. Let's read through an old Some Ordinary Gamer's Facebook post. Out of the hundreds of videos I have made, I personally felt really proud of this one due to the methods of filming it and the finesse I put into making this one. I put finesse in everything, but this video speaks to me personally. As an engineer. Let's get a taste of this masterpiece.
Power this thing on, and you come across a set of flashing lights over here, and you got
beautiful audio engineering, sophisticated framing. Before my whole YouTube channel, I worked in the tech and cybersecurity industry.
Cybersecurity? Wait, was that ever mentioned before?
Wild how I got to this side of YouTube because of Mutahar.
That's crazy. And now you're here watching a stream A-logging him.
Security industry. Ah yes, the high school job he got from having connections. You'd certainly guess that means something else from reading this though, without that context, wouldn't you? One of my highlights was being able to test stuff like this. It makes me feel alive, knowing that I can use this YouTube channel not just to share creepypastas, but my love of tech from time to time. This will not be a common trend of videos. Every once in a while I do stuff like this because it makes me feel really alive. Doing an unboxing like this from a company I follow and hold dear to me as a tech enthusiast, I feel honored to be the few to do this, and you all are to thank for it. I would not be here if it wasn't for you awesome people. I personally teared up editing this video because for the first time I've been supported by caring and loving people. And to be at a milestone like this in my life shows that I have the best family a guy could ask for. I wouldn't change anything for the world, and I will always be your same lovable goof. For those who have been here since the beginning or just a few seconds ago, thank you for changing this person's life and making it so much more enjoyable than what it used to be. When all this is said and done, I hope you all know that despite the entertainment that I've provided you all, and for those who say I make them happy, you all have no idea just how happy each and every one of you make me. Thank you for supporting me and allowing me to do videos like this. Heart emoji. So what is this video he's talking about? It's an ad. Oh, just because he was sent something doesn't mean it's an ad, and it's even disclosed in the title that they sent it to him. No, it's a full-on ad. The disclosure of that fact is just hidden below the fold. Mutahar used his claim to be an engineer to pose as an expert while advertising for Intel.
What? I myself used to be an engineer before I went into the video editing route. Now, as an engineer, I played around with the latest PC parts.
Not only does he claim he was an engineer, he specifically states that his work as an engineer involved playing around with the latest PC parts.
Playing around with the latest PC parts.
To big up Intel, the company that's sponsoring this video, he claimed to have direct expertise with parts like this. The two jobs I'm aware of him claiming to have had before he started YouTube were the high school penetration testing one and programming bank applications.
I told you guys, I'm a guy who used to code bank applications. Really boring shit.
Which one of those involved playing around with the latest processors and graphics cards? Oh, do you mean you did that in your own time while you were an engineer? But Mutahar, you like to brag about how little tech you had back then.
I was editing stuff on this laptop and recording stuff here. Now I'm going to show you guys what this fucking...
Mutahar, I'm going to have to ask that you substantiate this claim you made in an advert for Intel, that you were an engineer who, as an engineer, played around with the latest tech. If it's not true, using those credentials to big up a company that's sponsoring you is fucked. In my personal opinion, that would make you A scammer. I have to imagine it's not particularly legal either, but I'm not a lawyer and I'm not going to go into that. It's just obviously bad enough on its own. But harmful, he's a nice guy, he does good things. Yeah, he does. He's a hero in real life.
So he used his fake claim of being an engineer not only to get a sponsorship in the first place, fooling the company, but also selling a product using his authority, his fake authority that he's earned by faking being an engineer. It's almost like a double scam. He's scamming the company, but also scamming the viewer by giving you a sponsored video.
Even back then.
It's like both ways.
Let's read a couple of the stories he's told. He once taught a mother how to look after her child. It's okay for kids to ring your doorbell once in a while, but to call you a dried up cunt is pushing it far and above unacceptable. I go to this child's mother, repeat the phrase, and she goes of to defend her kid. Rest assured, I taught her how to fucking parent. If you want to procreate, make sure you are kids, have good values, and learn some damn respect. Cause I don't take that shit.
What the fuck is this, bro? I love how he's like, so this story is like some kid like rang Mutahar's doorbell. It was like, dried up cunt. That's what the kid said, and Mutahar just goes off. Like,
Mutahar. Damn, Muta, you kicked that toddler's ass. But he's not just a stone-cold badass. He also has a heart of gold. He's a philanthropist. This may not be gaming related, but I feel it's something to share. This morning, while coming home from my office, I saw a wealthy individual talking down to someone that was homeless, simply for the reason that he made more money and therefore was a better fit to society.
This is literally a FouseyTube prank. Okay? I remember watching like Colossal's Crazy's video on FouseyTube recently, like that old video, right? And there is literally a FouseyTube prank that it's a fake prank, obviously, that is literally this storyline where some rich guy just walks up to a homeless guy. He's like, haha, piece of shit, I make more money than you. That doesn't happen. That's literally does not happen.
I did everything to this man to shut him up, short of getting violent. What, did you let him sniff your poop spittoon? I've been at both ends of the spectrum, but I've never been homeless in my life. I suspect there's another spectrum you're on too, brother.
Oh.
The way some people treat others is absolutely horrible. No one is a better man or woman simply because they have more. So many factors go into that. Money does not define you as a person. I ended up giving this man what he considers a small fortune. $130 in my wallet. The individual was very grateful for it and proceeded to hug me. Saint Mutahar, beloved.
What the fuck is this? Is that like an Indian proverb? Like, no man is more valuable because of the money in their pocket. Is that like an...
of the homeless. Now, I didn't give him money simply for being homeless. I gave him money because it was the human thing to do. Nah, invaders in, you're not tricking me.
I love when people talk about the good things that they've done and just tweet it out. You know what I mean? Everyone helps out homeless people, okay? You see a homeless, unless you're like, I mean, maybe not everyone, right? But it's like, I know plenty of people, you know what I mean, that help people out. They're not tweeting it out. The people that I know in my life that have done the most courageous, like, I know people in my life that have saved people's lives. I didn't know about that for years. And it wasn't even from them. I had to find out through some other way, just by total accident. I was like, oh shit, you saved some kid's life? You saved some kid who was drowning in like a pool? I never would have known about that. You know what I mean? Like, I've literally had this happen before where it's like, I find out like people in my life have done crazy, charitable, good things, life-saving things. And it's because I have to find it out through such an obscure means because they're not just telling me and tweeting about it. You know what I mean? If you do something good, you're not supposed to just let the whole world know, like, hey guys, I got a big dick. I just helped out this homeless guy, give him $130. You don't do that. It's weird. It's tacky.
Life isn't about living for yourself or spreading some great message or winning a few battles here and there. It's simply about being a good person. It's kind of funny when I say I learned this morals from ordinary video games. But it's true. What, the rising...
What? I learned my morals from video games?
Price of AAA, is that why you gave him $130? Okay, look, Harmful, please.
What?
It's pretty cringe, but he doesn't deserve this. Think of his health. Think of his heart condition. You know that stress gives him cancer, as he explained in 2014. For those out there, I've had a bad couple of days as of now, and why I've been unable to stream. I have several medical conditions, and although my stress has always been high and this is my coping method for that, I believe family heart issues have surfaced, and I've been cursed with them. I also believe that cancer could be involved as a potential factor in the situation, alongside work problems IRL. Were you telling people you might have cancer because a doctor said that? Or was it whispered to you by one of your sleep paralysis demons? Because it's not a joke, is it, Mutahar? It's not something you should just play around with frivolously.
Your parents probably will also tell you straight up, lying about having cancer is like evil bad, okay? Like, god damn. If you believe in a god and the devil, you know that this shit is alone enough to send you down to fucking hell and burn there. That's how bad this situation is.
To be fair, unlike Boogie, he didn't say he did have cancer. He just floated that possibility out there to the world for sympathy. And it can be scary. A couple years back, I had to have a scan done, which cleared up there wasn't a problem, but I was spooked, and I talked about it.
What are the odds? Again, it's not like Mutahar was just some random YouTuber who also happens to do something that's like Boogie. Mutahar was on every Boogie stream for a month. Every fucking stream. Lolcow Live did like 80 different streams after the whole initial Boogie faking cancer incident, all about Boogie faking cancer. And Mutahar was on every single fucking one. And not only was he there, he was just dressing down Boogie. He was just like, you are a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. He was just going on and on and on and on about how much of a piece of shit Boogie was, right? And then you find out stuff like this.
I talked about what my doctor said in the test I was getting. I didn't say, I believe cancer could be involved in why I feel bad.
Yeah, it's not just that he like had an opinion on Boogie. He was aggressive.
That would be.
To a point where he didn't need to be there. Mutahar gained nothing by being on those Lolcow Live streams. Mutahar didn't gain money from being there. He didn't gain clout or status that he didn't already have. No. He gained nothing. He was just doing it just for the art of being performative. And that's like the most fucked up thing about this guy, right? Is he just does everything he can think of just for the art of being performative. Just because he just enjoys acting like that and receiving the praise and validation that I guess he never got. I don't know if this is some like childhood thing or something like that, or if it's like some deep, I mean, it's obviously deep levels of insecurity. I don't know where it comes from. But I don't even think he's doing this for like monetary motivations. I just think he is just somebody that just wants to be this like God complex savior type of guy. And he's been looking for that status and that reputation his whole life. And I don't really know why. It's kind of gay.
Fucking weird. Mutahar, did you have a good reason to say you thought cancer was involved? Or did you just throw it out there for giggles? Careful bringing up the big C word. Sunground Studios might try to make friends with you. You know, you actually remind me of him. Not because you're brown, because of the suits.
Wow.
No racism here. No Islamophobia.
I like
not
how
even gonna mention
every
the
person that covers Mutahar makes an Indian joke. Like, they just have to. Dude, one of these thumbnails was crazy. I had it pulled up. Because obviously the story is going like mega viral. You know, these videos on Mutahar are doing really well right now. I don't know if I can find... You guys already know the one. Oh yeah, here it is. Instantly I find it just by searching Mutahar thumbnail. Liar, fraud, Indian in bold red bloody text. Indian. Like, that's like one of his crimes, is just being an Indian guy. It's like, okay, dude. What the fuck?
deleted meeting with Al-Qaeda video. I don't know what's in that. Probably just an engineering conference. Yeah, this stuff's old. But how old's the stuff he was using just last month to claim engineering credentials? And it's not like he has a degree, is it? His cybersecurity background is a high school nepo job. Remind you of anyone else? He wants to live in the past? I'm merely obliging. And not only that, this is the foundation of his channel. This is the basis of his internet presence. When you see the die-hard fans who love him no matter what, been there from the start, the first million, it's because they've been told he'd die for them, that he loves them, that they're his family. Literally. Disgusting. And this is just what can be found from a brief
family is one of the worst words. If you ever hear somebody talk about family, and they're not talking about their family, run, dude. Bro, that is like, if you're in like a workplace environment and they're talking about, welcome to the family. Or like you hear a YouTuber talk about his audience, he's like, you guys are like my family. Oh boy, dude. Oh boy.
And of his career, yesterday morning, so I'd have some idea who Mutahar is.
Okay, well that was a fucking insanely brutal video. Wow. And that's not the only harmful opinions video we got. We actually have two more. Dude, this stuff never ends. So like I mentioned before, Twitter is just all over the story. Mutahar has banned the word engineer from his YouTube comments section. Not surprising at all. 30,000 likes, 1 million views. People are into this shit. I don't tweet about Mutahar that much. I'm mostly a DSP troll, but every time I do, it pops off. Everyone seems to hate this dude. Okay, what the fuck is this, bro? Okay, all right. All right, let's move on from that. But this is more on Mutahar's response. He actually has responded, ladies and gentlemen. Disavow. Mutahar the engineer responds.
Mutahar, of Some Ordinary Gamers, has just responded to commentary and questions regarding his claims of engineering credentials. Wait, what am I talking about? You don't see anything, do you? He hasn't posted a video, he hasn't made a tweet. Exactly. You don't see anything. Like any good professional engineer, Mutahar found a technical solution. His response was to blacklist the word engineer and perhaps others from his comment sections. This is very easily confirmed by account switching or logging out. Let's leave a perfectly innocuous comment on his most recent video and include the word engineer, logged in as my Nightmare Club channel. Now let me switch back to harmful opinions. Let's sort by new to look at it. It is not there no matter how many times I refresh the comment section. I also left some other comments including the word engineer on other accounts. Perhaps someone could engineer a more efficient method, I wrote. You'll notice it's a highlighted comment because I'm looking at it with a direct link. I can see it when I'm logged into the account that made the comment, but if I follow that link while not logged in or logged into another account, it doesn't work. To be thorough, I tested the exact comments I used on his channel on other channels, and this does not occur. It is absolutely not YouTube's basic filter. So Mutahar has responded, and his response was to censor you, no matter what he might say or do.
I mean, doesn't that just, like, say it all, though? Like, that's his big response. That's his big comeback, is like, you know what? Just fucking cover it up. I genuinely don't think he's ever going to make a full-on response video. I don't know what he's gonna do, if he's just gonna keep uploading in like a month, like nothing happened. I guess that's like the go-to move. But, I mean, it just says it all right there, you know? He's a coward. He's always been a complete coward. And this just says it all right here. He's a coward, he's fake, insecure. And it's just crazy to me that he would even... It's crazy to me that he would even connect himself with this community at all. You know, Mutahar was like second to Moist Critical on YouTube. Probably still is, right? And yet he aligned himself with RFC. He aligned himself with this sort of like smaller, more niche, more edgier, more mean community. He kind of just joined in as like he was way beyond all of us in terms of clout and status and just his channel subscriber count. But he brought himself down to our level just to engage with it, because it probably was fun for him, right? But that level, he knows the level of like of coverage we do on people, right? And I guess he just never thought that it would be applied to him if he starts like fucking up or saying crazy things or lying or doing whatever it takes to get covered. But it's like, it's not even like he's like not used to seeing this level of coverage on somebody. He's seen it all. You know, he's been here, he brought himself down here into the trenches for no reason, you know? So it's not even like he's unprepared for this type of response. And yet somehow he still is. I don't know. It's just very weird.
Do next. Remember, this was a response.
Did he see this as a threat, try to buddy the critics? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, that's possible. The problem is the community got too hostile. You know what I mean? The community is very hostile right now. You know? And I'm not even saying that's a bad thing. I do feel like a certain level of hostility is required to make sure everybody's not fucking insane. But he just can't handle it. You know, when you've got these skeletons in your closet, when you're not honest, the best way to win on the internet is just to be honest with yourself. Be honest when you fuck up. Be honest when you have a wrong take or a bad take. You know, if somebody challenges your position on something, you know, the best thing to do is think about the challenging, right? Think about what people are saying and be like, do I still agree with my position, or do I think that the critics sort of have some weight or whatever, right? And if you believe in what you believe in, argue it, and if not,
remember when Queeman
just
was
be like, I was
calling him
wrong.
out years ago? I thought Queeman was just being a hater, but he was right, again. He's always ahead of the curve.
I didn't know Queeman was calling him out. I didn't even really know who Queeman was until this year. So, has he been calling out for years?
It's number one. And he did this.
But yeah, my point is, it's just like, dude, it's very easy. One of the easiest things you can do is just admit when you're wrong. It's not easy for the ego, but it is easy because people could be like, all right, well, you know what? So what? He had a bad take. But when you have this like pompous ego and you're just like, fuck it, I'm always right, we charge full steam ahead. That's how you build up resentment. That's how you build up hatred. Legitimate hatred. You know? When you're the man that can't be questioned anymore.
Just 3 days after uploading a video where he says this.
We're living in a time of censorship coming at us from both the government end and from private entities. And honestly, we have to find some way to fight back.
I don't think Mutahar means a single thing he says, ever. Some people were disappointed with my last video that I only covered stuff from a decade ago or more, which is because I started looking at him from the start, and I made a video about what I'd seen. Well, there you go. There's an example of him being a total fraud from this week. Mutahar, just 4 years ago, you were still calling your viewers your family.
I have to be honestly just thankful that we as a community are around, and you guys are basically my family at this point. Like, I consider you all extended family.
And now you're not going to let your family say a word you love to say so often? That's not very brotherly of you, is it? Do you remember saying this 4 months ago?
Yeah, I'm honestly serious here. Like, if my comment section didn't exist, I would live a much depressing lifestyle. I love my YouTube comment section. I actually really love you guys so much beyond all of it.
If my comment section didn't exist, I would have a depressing life. Unironically, one of the most depressing things I've ever heard in my entire life. If I wasn't just reading my comments or my Twitter feed and seeing you guys just sucking my cock, my life would suck. Okay.
Because to be honest, I can just, like, anytime I need a good laugh and a good happy day, I just read some of the stuff you guys say, whether you're like talking about the topic that I'm discussing or you're just straight up roasting me. It's always funny to just get down and be part of the community over here.
You love being roasted, but the E word is a step too far. There's free speech and then there's hate speech and engineer.
And also, it's like the, what do they call that? The something effect? Fuck, why am I so stupid? Why do I not remember? The, whatever. The effect where when you try to silence something, it becomes bigger. That's the fucking thing I'm...
With a hard R is clearly a slur. You can
Streisand effect. Okay, I just look like I'm a giant retard. But no, it's like the Streisand effect. It's like he made engineering like this, like the E word. He made it like, you must never say that word again on my channel. That's gonna work.
Say it with a soft A instead and it won't be filtered. You know all you had to do was do nothing, right? Like you said, YouTube's not your job, you don't rely on it financially in any way. And even if it was, no matter how many people hate or dislike you, or think you're a total fraud, you'll always have tens, hundreds of thousands of people who love you no matter what. Is that not enough for you? Are you still the little boy from 10 years ago whose heart's broken when someone unsubscribes?
If I ever lost one subscriber, I feel heartbroken.
I guess so. Now, the odds of Mutahar seeing this, I would assume, are very, very low. But I really hope that Mutahar knows...
Actually, I would argue the odds are very, very high. I feel like this guy is, like, obsessed with his self-image and how he's being perceived by other people on the internet. I feel he is... I don't know if he's, like, fully watching the coverage around him, but I think he's at least aware, or he has people watching it for him and kind of giving him the deets, you know?
If he's not a fraud, all of this was salvageable. If any of those jobs he had engineer in the title and he showed receipts, it would have gone a long way, even if he has been fluffing himself up a little bit. If you provided receipts on top of that in the course of one of those jobs, you dealt with cutting-edge hardware, I would make sure that everyone knows the Intel ad where you made those claims isn't fraudulent. But instead, your go-to on becoming aware of what's going on was to censor everyone and try to stop the spread of information. That's a problem in and of itself, brother. You went full managem. You went full pirate software. Good luck with that. What was it Mutahar said about that guy again?
Just learn to take a little bit of an L. Learn to laugh at yourself.
Really? He's saying this recently? This is Mutahar talking recently? Because the pirate software stuff is all recent. That's what he's saying now?
None of this would have been an issue.
Okay.
Mutahar.
That's crazy. What the fuck was that in my recommended?
None of this would have been an issue.
Never mind.
Why the fuck is this in my recommended? I don't watch any of this shit. Okay, that is
Mutahar
fucked
of
up.
Some Ordinary Gamers.
That is fucked up. I don't watch fucking VTuber Mario Kart. What the fuck? Why is that there? It's not even in my sidebar. What the fuck was that? Flamenco core? Dude, it's just because we covered flamenco too much. Augie's the new lyrics. I do not watch any of that shit, okay? Alright, what else do we got here? So that's Mutahar deleting comments. This is more of Mutahar's response. We're just going through harmful opinions videos right now. Tipster? Okay, dude. Mutahar is hiding things now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mutahar has responded to controversy again. And again you will ask, where? He hasn't made a tweet. He hasn't posted a video. And once again I will say, exactly. This time he's dipped into his video engineering expertise and has made at least one video I saw.
Someone says, is that lolly at Tipster? Wow. Okay. I don't watch that.
I did a clip from disappear. IRL ghost stories, Tokyo's stalking ghost is now private, when it wasn't before my video.
Tipster says, yes, it is. Again, don't watch that shit.
Video went up. Did you enjoy watching it, Muta? It's a funny thought, but he probably just had someone mention it to him. The video, by the way, is...
Alright, sorry. I'm like too distracted. Let me watch this.
And once again, I will say, exactly. This time he's dipped into his video engineering expertise and has made at least one video I cited a clip from disappear. IRL ghost stories, Tokyo's stalking ghost is now private, when it wasn't before my video went up.
Wow.
Did you enjoy watching it, Muta? It's a funny thought, but he probably just had someone mention it to him.
So he's deleting videos that Harmful Opinions is covering now. The IRL Ghost Stories video is privated now. Why? What's in there?
The video, by the way, is available in full on the Wayback Machine. It's just a story about how when he worked in Japan for a little while, he heard some footsteps and it scared him. He claims in that video he went to Aokigahara Forest to film, and then I pointed out that a few years later in a video he stated he went to Aokigahara Forest, but without the intention to film. Pretty small thing, but apparently big enough for him to start hiding stuff. You could just say, oh, all the bits about the forest specifically are made up. Whatever. Instead, you privated it. What's going on, buddy? And I have to notice that in these IRL ghost stories, true tales from when you traveled just sensationalized a bit. More than once you've talked about your career.
Now, for those of you who know what my occupation is in life, I am a video editor. I'm a post-production officer, so... alongside with that, I get to edit a lot of stuff, but I also get to travel a lot whenever there's, big venues or gigs that, they need an editor on site. So, you fly down there, you cut up, and basically that's what you do. That's why I went down to Mumbai in the first place. It wasn't travel, it's basically work stuff. So, I had a job going down in Dubai. And it carried over to Saudi Arabia.
Something a little bit weird to me is that the year before he told this story, he appears to have uploaded a video from that trip. He describes why he was there a little bit differently. Out there for personal and even some work-related reasons. Curious, but no biggie, and that's really cool. And I'm really envious. That sounds incredible. I would have loved to have lived such a lifestyle. But I've got to ask another question. Can I see some of the stuff you've worked on, please? Because he has actually bragged about his work in film and TV quite heavily. And not just in IRL ghost story videos, in case you think those are just totally made up. In 2015, he uploaded a video absolutely shitting on someone for trying to crowdfund for their gaming channel. Fair enough, that's funny. I'd do the same. But he goes on this weird fit where he uses his entire family's credentials to prove how different to these guys he is, how he's worked to earn everything, and that everyone in the Anus family works hard because they're passionate.
Do what makes you passionate, because my dad is a doctor, guys. My dad is probably one of the world's fucking greatest doctors. He's worked on the Ebola cure, he's worked on God knows what, he's worked with...
Worked on the Ebola cure?
One of the world's fucking greatest doctors. He's worked on the Ebola cure, he's worked on God knows what, he's worked with WHO, he's an open heart fucking surgeon, dude. He is a fucking decorated individual. And the reason he's a
worked with the WHO
individual is because he was passionate about what he did.
Alright, dad cured Ebola and is the best open heart surgeon in the world.
My mom, she's a fucking microbiologist. Why? Because she was passionate about what she did.
Mom's a microbiologist. Yep, that totally owns those lazy gamers.
My uncle teaches, you know, at the University of North fucking Carolina as a fucking theoretical physicist because he is passionate.
Uncle was a professor of theoretical physics because he had that passion these gamers...
What if all of this is true, by the way? And he comes from this, like, elite family, and that's why he's insecure about being a YouTuber? What if everything he's saying about his family is, like, just completely correct? And that's where the insecurity comes from. It's like, oh, what do you do? I just upload slop.
Don't have.
My aunt works at IBM working on the Titan supercomputer because she's passionate about what she does.
Aunt worked on the Titan supercomputer. Now, what's the cherry on top? What does Mutahar have to blow all this away with?
I work as an editor in movies and TV down in LA, Tokyo, fucking Dubai, Paris, because I'm passionate about what I do.
Goddamn, a regular globetrotter. Can I see some of the stuff you've worked on, please? I genuinely just want to see it. I'm interested. And he was saying this in 2015. He started studying film in 2013. And that's after already having had an engineering career.
I mean, I've taken the biggest risk when I switched from my engineering career.
Dude, Mutahar's been in college, like, longer than Flamenco. He just keeps going back to get, like, another, like, 5-star job
all the way out to my, you know, film and television career, and it's a career I love a whole lot more rather than my old life, you know, whereas I was living really in a dead-end job.
How'd you pull it off? Do you just have cracked connections? Genuinely would just love to know. It seemed like you've done something. You got these Make-A-Wish looking pics of yourself at an audio console, saying that's you at work. I see you mentioned back in 2014 being on set and unable to stream. You posted the next day about being done with the shoot and shared a picture, but you let people know later that's just from a student production.
Oh, that's me. We were filming. That's actually from a student production.
Worship? Mutahar is great and powerful. It is perfecting our own behavior to reflect Mutaharian mannerisms that we can also become great. All followers of Mutahar understand this and use this wisdom to its full extent. To allow followers of Mutahar to fully grasp his mannerisms, we must worship him. What is his website? What? We must worship him. Through worship, he allows us to follow his actions and what the fuck am I reading? Does this get addressed in the video?
Doing in school.
So whatever, I'm guessing it's not going to be something you want to show off. But in 2015, when you were bragging to put someone else down, you did show something off. A YouTube video, you, the man who
that's some fan-made website he was just reviewing on stream, and then he was explaining where the picture came from? Okay.
Is all the way around the world to work as a post-production officer on film and TV. We're proud of. Remember, he popped off with this.
I work as an editor in movies and TV down in LA, Tokyo, fucking Dubai, Paris, because I'm passionate about what I do.
And then he shows an example of recent work on YouTube he's really proud of and had to work very hard on.
I wanted to kind of make it like a really popular, not like a popular one, but like a popular like looking one. You know how they have it all professionally made, right? You know, with like a lot of effort put in. I didn't fucking sit together and just half-ass out a top 10 list. No, I sat there for like 2 or 3 days non-stop. And this video is going to show recording it, editing it, putting it together because I wanted to reach the top and I wanted to fucking put myself, you know, I wanted to
prepare yourself here, okay?
Make something.
This is the kind of passion and talent that gets you flown out to Tokyo, Mumbai.
I was gonna say, this is what like a world-class, world-famous video editor is making.
This is the kind of passion...
Dude.
This is the kind of passion and talent that gets you flown out to Tokyo, Mumbai, LA, Dubai.
This console and I enjoyed making it. Tiger Electronics. I fucking enjoyed every second.
He's going on this like rant about how deep his passion is for YouTube, and he's making a top 10 worst gaming consoles video. Something that any fucking 12-year-old could write up and make themselves.
Damn, dude, how many hours of those days you worked on it did it take to figure out how to make an image do this in Vegas?
The founder and CEO. You know, I enjoyed recording multiple bouts of gameplay and how
he's like watching this video. He's like, this is where blood, sweat, and tears went into. My soul is in this video. It's like, dude, calm down.
You know,
I mean, it's probably a good video. I don't know. Smacko says we're making fun of 2015 top 10 videos now. Have we fallen this low? It's probably a good video. I'm not saying like there's anything wrong with this type of content, but like this is not like world-class elite Dubai, Paris, London, Tokyo, LA, New York City fucking level film editor. No. The guy that's doing all that is not making this.
Multiple bouts of gameplay. More than...
Yeah, it's also nothing to be proud. It's a fun thing to just slap together, but like, fuck.
One recording session. The stamina of this international producer is unmatched.
That was such a raving success, right? That's what I do. That's
what I do.
That's what I do.
An artiste, a visionary, not like these other frauds.
But these fucking people look at it like greenbacks, dineros, dollars, money back.
No, Mutahar was making listicles for the passion of it.
Yes,
Look, Mutahar.
for the art. He's an artist. He's like all these streamers now that call themselves artists. Have you ever noticed that? Sneeko, when he goes live, he's like, I'm an artist. No, you're not. You scream and you watch red pill videos. Like, that's not art.
I smell secrets. What's the real deal with all of this? You got crazy connects or something? You certainly were not being flown around based on your talents. And even after that, you would use your credentials as a video editor to bolster your arguments and points.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to tell you, working as a video editor, that's exactly the kind of stuff you would do to push a narrative.
You have insinuated that people are being deceptive before on the back of your credentials as a video editor. Like certain other claims you've made, you used this claim for years as a tool to convince people of things. Especially now that you're supposedly just a day trader. May we see your portfolio? Get a grasp of how legit what you were telling us was? Why did you hide the video where you said you filmed a documentary in Japan? Was that a lie? Or is it true and you're scared of people finding stuff? Is it shit and people will laugh when they see it? What's going on? Your stuff's all fresh and exciting to me. I've only ever seen your Keffels video and little fragments of bits here and there, but that's all just you regurgitating shit you read somewhere else. All this more original stuff I see from you in the past has you looking like a giant bullshitter. Happy to be proven wrong about everything. I mean, I'm working to prove myself wrong. I reported you to Professional Engineers Ontario. I showed them the claims you made of being an engineer, and I showed them stuff like the ad you did for Intel, where you claimed to have been an engineer, and talked about testing hardware in the accompanying Facebook post. They got back to me and asked for evidence that you live in Ontario. I've given it to them, and I guess eventually we'll find out if it's an issue or not. See, I'm not just a hater, I'm testing claims other people have made. If they're wrong about it being illegal, I'll make sure
This seems a bit much. I mean, normally I mean, if I was the one making this video, I wouldn't go through all that. Touching the poo a bit. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would not want to be involved in any of this. But, wow. Holy fuck.
Everyone knows what goes down. If they're right about it being illegal, maybe you shouldn't have blocked people from saying engineer, because it's actually...
I mean, what are the consequences of that, too? Like, so let's say they come back and they're like, he's lying, he's not an engineer. Does he get, like, fucking deported? Or fined? Like, what the fuck happens to him?
You who can't say it. I genuinely don't know which is true, though, which is why I asked the experts. Take it easy. See you next time.
Okay. I'm noticing a bit of a theme here with these Mutahar videos. It's like they keep going a little bit too fucking hard. Like Nicandros with the doxing stuff going on there. I mean, I'm not saying he's a doxer, but I'm just saying, I'm like, why would you even do that in your videos? Like, what are we doing here? But, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. Again, I'm not doing that. But, yeah. Wow. Let's see here. Yep, I think it's all saved. Oh, Smaggle sent me one clip. This is Keemstar attempting to reach out to Mutahar. Let me play this right now.
We're on stream, just so you know. I basically want to know, what is this drama about? You lied about being an engineer and stuff.
Your customers call me like off stream. I don't understand in the middle of something. There.
I could call you off stream. I just thought maybe like if it's.
Hold on. I gotta take care of some stuff. So I didn't know I was on stream.
So you want me to call you off stream?
Yeah, later. I'm just in the middle of something.
All right, sounds good.
Oh wow! So he actually picked up the phone. What the fuck? He says he's in the middle of something. Okay, well, damn, that's crazy. He actually picked up the phone though. I thought I'm surprised he even did that. I'd assume if I was Mutahar and I'm not wanting to talk to anybody, and I see Keemstar's calling me, and it's like, oh, he's live, obviously. But damn, that's crazy.